Welcome to the Clash of Clans World Championship Qualifier Stage number 4. We'll be giving out 4 golden tickets today. I'm Carbon Finn, joined with amazing co-caster Itsu and Maxi. Itsu, how are you doing?
I'm doing incredible. I cannot wait to see if we're seeing any more new strategies, I want to say, because over the last couple of stages we have seen a new approach from Space Station with the Queen Judge Lalo. So how do other teams react to that? How do they adapt to that? I cannot wait to see what is going to happen. But Maxi, how are you doing?
Hey guys, thank you very much. I'm doing great. And yeah, what you're saying is absolutely true. We also have to find out if maybe other teams found a way to defend this new strategy, but maybe they have come up with something themselves. So a lot to focus on today, a lot to expect today. But before we get into the first match and into the action for today, let's take a look at how all the teams competing today actually got here. So they were competing in 4 stages in total. They had to play 5v5 clan wars, of course, and every single player can have just 1 attack. And in the end, after 4 stages are completed, and we are in the 4th stage today, 4 clans will move on to the World Championship by gaining a golden ticket. And guys, we're going to find out those 2 teams today. But Carmen, tell us, what exactly can we expect today?
Yes, the roadmap indeed. We started with stage 1. Then went to stage 2 in the double elimination, to stage 3 in the Swiss bracket, and finally stage 4, which is today. Again, another double elimination where it is between the top 8 teams. And 4 of these 8, so half of them, will be going on to the World Finals, and then half are going to be eliminated and going home. But Itsu, this bracket, the double elimination, is going to be a tough one to get through.
Yes, indeed. You can see already in the upper bracket in the round 1 what matches are going to happen today. All of those matches are going to happen at the same time, so we're going to concentrate on one of those matches in this live stream, but there's plenty other streamers out there trying to cover as many as possible. But as you can see over this, as soon as you're going to win 2 matches in the upper bracket, you are already looking for that nice spot to have a chance for these golden tickets, for actually 2 of those golden tickets already. Otherwise, if you have lost 1 match early on, then you have to fight your way through the lower rounds and through the lower bracket to get still 2 other golden tickets which are on the line over there. So 1 loss is okay. If it's more than 1 loss in this bracket, then you're out and you have no chance of competing for all of the prize money. Maxi, what is on the line?
Yes, that's a good question. Let's take a look at the pricing for this event. So we already have 4 teams in the World Championship, right? And we have 8 teams competing today. So every single team is at least 12. So every single team competing today has already earned at least $20,000. But of course, their big goal is to get the golden ticket, get to the World Championship, be at least top 8, and have a chance at winning the big prize of $300,000 if they become world champion. And yeah, we are going to find out which 4 teams are going to have that chance today. But guys, enough about the general information, let's take a look at the first match that we are going to watch in today's stream.
Yes, indeed. We are going to be we're watching the Repotted Gaming taking on Space Station, where Space Station was the #1 seed coming in from the ladder stage. They went the 16-0, and they've been dominating throughout this whole competition. And that kind of leads into my question here. So we're going to be watching every single match that has a golden ticket on the line. So you're wondering, well, don't the matches occur at the same time? Yes. All 4 matches in the upper bracket, the start, all happen at the same time. But we are going to watch each one of the next rounds into the upper bracket. So the second match that happens in the upper bracket, they're going to hold off until the first match goes on, so we can see every single team that gets a golden ticket. So you don't have to worry. You won't miss any of the most important matches. But coming in the upper bracket, I'm going to ask both of you here, Itsu and Maxi, which teams do you think has the best shot of making it, winning, going 2-0, and securing their first golden ticket here, and not having to be forced into the lower bracket?
Wow, that is an incredible hard question. It's a really, really hard question, I feel like. I think, if I have the brackets here correctly in my head, I think with the upper bracketry, I think I would go with Space Station. I mean, to this point, in the entire competition, they yet have to lose a single match. This is just mind-blowing to me. This is incredible. But at the same time, they have to go through Queen Walkers, if I remember correctly, which are a really solid team as well. Thank you for bringing the bracket up again. Yes, we can see Space Station, Queen Walkers, and Repotted and Inquisition all in this upper bracket. And they have to fight, if they do not lose one single time, for one of the golden ticket spots. So I would go with Space Station out of those 4. And the bottom 4, I would actually go with Blind Esports. They have really, really impressed me with their performance. And I really trust in the experience they're going to bring to the team with the 3 members really coming back from this last year's Clash Worlds Finals event, where they were already part of this with a different name. So I really trust in them, so those will be my 2 picks. Maxi, what is your guess?
Yeah, I don't want to make this too boring, but Blind Esports was actually also what I was going with in the lower part of the upper bracket, because guys, you know, we have 4 teams in the first 2 matches and 4 teams in the other 2 matches. So of each of those 4 teams will send at least 1 team through the upper bracket. So that's why we're talking about kind of an upper bracket and the lower upper bracket right now. But yeah, out of the second 4 teams, I would say Blind Esports as well, because they were very consistent last week, especially after they were down 0-0, and they 0-2. They made their way, they fought their way up with very consistent high performing wars. And then in the first 4 teams, I would not go with Space Station this time, because they have been very consistent, but also the other teams there have been putting up 14 and 15 stars every single time. So I think that Queen Walkers are going to get directly to the golden ticket through the upper bracket, and this will make the lower bracket very interesting with Space Station, the big undefeated team in the lower bracket. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting for today, guys. What about you, Carvin? What do you think?
I will go with you on Queen Walkers as well. So I'm going to pick Queen Walkers from the upper bracket. I think it's going to be a Queen Walkers versus Space Station. Who knows? I mean, Inquisition and Repotted, they are both really good. It can really go either way, but Space Station has been on another level, and they had Queen Walker's number before. Can Queen Walkers get their revenge? And Itsu, before I go to pick the lower bracket, you mentioned Blind Esports, right? And you're picking them to come through the upper bracket, and you mentioned some of the players were on a previous team in the World Championship. Which team was that, to remind the viewers, maybe if they want to kind of be up to date? Which team? Do you remember the name of it?
They were part of the roster of Aphelion Esports last year, which made an incredible run through the lower bracket, I think, last year, back then. And it was really impressive to watch, and I think as well they were one of the teams back then. I think it was Hero Dive Lalo.
I got troops from Claw.
Fuel your play.
I got Hawk.
Liquid IV, get 2 times faster hydration.
These are gonna be the most OP 3 hog riders ever known to mankind.
Yeah, that carefree.
Dude, I could just
make
use
your
my
own
clan
rules
castle and it will 3-star.
to, let me try that again.
I can
type of
use
play.
my clan castle
It's
only,
like it makes you
and it
dive
will
into new
3-star
waters.
because I got Boss.
Liquid IV
Boss
has
is hot.
3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drink.
An Australian-friendly stream time. Yes, I'm doing it just for you, Mooney. Just for you, nobody else. So if anyone else does the stream, I'm sorry, the stream is dedicated only to Mooney. She can only one here. Well, you see. Look what I found. Hey, let's go. Oh no 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 no! That was supposed to be a balloon. Bro, this game's broken.
So they were coming
Bro,
up
that's
with their
not
own
fair.
stuff,
That's
which
not
back
fair,
then already
bro.
impressed
Come
me a lot.
on,
They were
yo,
making it
come on.
really
That's
far
not
with that.
fair.
So we're
That's not
looking forward
fair.
to maybe this experience of
27 minutes, even though
playing
we
their
got 2
own game,
attachments, so we
kind
got another 1, 2.
can give them an advantage in this. Well, you have to be clutch today, right? You have to take your chances because there's not many second chances overall, Carbon.
Yeah, there's not many second chances.
Pablo,
you
you
have
still
one
here?
second
You
chance
think you're gonna win
in the lower
tomorrow?
bracket in this double elimination.
think you're gonna win
That's
this?
really it at this point here. But I'm gonna go
Pablo?
with Marshall's Kiss
Damn, wow,
from the
good.
lower bracket. Well, not the lower bracket, from the bottom
Mito?
bracket of the
Italia?
upper bracket. Kind of confusing there, but I think I'm picking Queen Walkers and Marshall's Kiss from the upper bracket, and in the lower bracket, I think Space Station. If that's gonna force them down there. And I don't know the other one. Maybe it could be GS. It could come from down there. I guess we'll have to find out. It's gonna be some good teams, some good, amazing matches. But is there? You talked about a little bit of the attack strategies. It's you just there before. But is there any other attack strategies that you would love to see? Because Lalo is the name of the game. We see Lalo everywhere with these pro players. Was there any other attack strategy that you want to see here that could really surprise you? Be like, well, kind of made you think a little bit.
What? After I was cheating a little bit, I looked over and take a look at the stats because I want to see overall ground attacks, I have to say. I mean, Lalo is just they said it, the name of the game right now. Queen Charge Lalo, Hero Dive Lalo, Blizzard Lalo, whatever you can combine with Lalo, it is strong in the hands of pros. But I would like to see Queen Charge Hybrid. I just love that strategy. I think it's really cool. And sometimes maybe catching some people, some base builders off guard. And then Super Bowlers are always great to watch as well. So I feel like those are the 2 strategies I am personally looking forward the most. What about you, Maxi?
Yeah, okay,
Let's go,
so I thought that you were
Rang
going with Queen
1
Charge
in the
Hybrid, given
bin.
that that is one of your most favorite strategies.
Also
But
vielleicht.
I actually
Warte,
thought something that we
kommt
have
vermutlich
rarely
jetzt vor
seen
den Fall und
recently
so.
are Hog Riders. So I would really love to see some Hog Rider based
Let's
attacks. You can combine those with the Queen
Elva
Charge
Risk.
as well, or
Ich hoffe,
as we
morgen,
rarely see, especially
gibt's
from
keine
one
Base, wo
player,
man
Cindy,
die Clanburg und die
an
Queen
approach with a
zusammenblitzen
lot
kann,
of Hog
danach der
Riders,
Lalo
for example a
durchgeht.
Hero Dive or a Skelly Donut, or
dass man das
even a
Rathaus nicht so
Blizzard
leicht mit dem
and then a
Warden
Hero
durchgeführt
Dive combined with the Hog Riders. And I think that is something that could be thinking outside of the box from the teams, because I think no one is really expecting that. But as we always see when Cindy is ever playing, the Hog Riders are definitely still a meta troop. They are still just very hard to handle, and I think people have less experience with them than with the Lalo, for example, or other ground strategies. And yeah, that's why I would really love to see Hog Riders. And something for you, Carbon, that you're excited about?
I would love to see something different, like the super archers being used, super giants, you know, something that you don't typically see. We see sometimes super archers be put in the blimp, right, to clone up to get some amazing value, but maybe using the super archers to get and sniping some buildings like on an outside, it's kind of hard to do if you can't get the perfect chain. But these base builders build all of these different bases to test against it. But you know, that would always be amazing. Love to see something a bit different. Or of course, you know, the XBB special, the Velks, right, to have them come smashing through a base. That's also amazing. But we have just a few minutes, I think just like less than 2 minutes before we get into the first attack. Real quick, between Itsu and you, Maxi, you both have experience playing in these types of situations. What would you tell these players kind of getting ready for the big moment, trying to get this golden ticket? We'll start with you, Itsu.
I think pretty much the same advice as always with player-owned game. I mean, all of those teams, all of those players individually are here on this stage for a reason. They have they have put everything into this and deserve to be in this position. And I feel like just play their game. Do not try to get too fancy maybe, or do not get confused by the other team. Just play your own game. I feel like this is the way to go for all of those teams, because they can put up, if they're playing their own game, 15 stars, but they have to somehow get that. For you, Maxi, what would be the tip?
Yeah, I would say to them, guys, how many times have you done an attack in a war? And every single one of those players has done at least 1,000, if not a lot more. So I would just say, okay, so you have fun. It's like breathing for you. You do this every day. It is easy for you, and just approach it like that. It's just one attack, one of so many that you've done before. It's the same as always, and try to do that. But guys, I'm going to leave you alone now for the first war, as the first attack is about to start in just a little bit. So have fun watching the stream, and I'll see you guys after this one.
Thank you, Maxi. Yes, we will be seeing Maxi a little bit later after the very first match. But Itsu, we've got this one, Repotted and Space Station. And you're really excited for this one. This is probably one viewers at home. Really, it could go either way. Yeah, Space Station is probably favored in this match because they haven't lost. They've been on a huge run. But all it takes is one slip up at this stage, and you're going down to the lower bracket, and you can be eliminated. But here we go with the very first attack from Space Station. P. Castro kick it off, and of course it is the Lalo Queen. Charge Lalo with 27 balloons here.
Yeah, and especially with Reported building a lot of those annoying looking ring bases, there's always things which can go wrong. And especially with Lalo, we know one small second you're not paying attention, you might lose your queen ability, you might lose the ability of reaching that town hall. And remember, if this town hall is not going down from the queen, you might have a big problem, because Lalo against ring bases, that's sometimes really tough to secure that save if things are going wrong. But for now, things are looking really good for Picastro with this charge, with diving straight into this bottom side. But there's a lot of damage on this queen, Corbin.
Yeah, quite a bit of damage as the queen is going to continue her push in towards the eagle, the enemy queen. We do have the royal champion next to this town hall all the way in the middle. And little did we know that I was taking a look at some of the stats from Chase the Ace, that there's been 0 1-stars on ring bases. With these anti-2s, the town hall in the middle, I would have thought that there was going to be a little bit more. The 1-stars have actually been coming on the anti-3-star designs. So let's see what P. Casio can come in as he's sending the blimp, which is a little bit more of a secure route to be sure that the town hall goes down, but it has to make it all the way there.
Yeah, and he's even investing in rage to make sure this town hall is going down as quickly as possible. Queen ability is getting forced though, and that town hall, wait a second, is it going down? You said it.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Wait, did I do? Oh.
He redirects those Yeti mites to go into the town hall to secure that second star. The queen is going down, and we have talked about it. Reported so far, really were heavily going towards those ring bases, and it seems like it's paying off. They were trying to prevent the Lalo with the traps, and it has worked great. Especially, Corbin, considering if we take a look at the stats again, P. Castro so far in this tournament in Stage 2 and Stage 3 is perfect. He has not failed so far. So the question is, can those heroes overpower the back end? Because I don't know, heroes are strong.
Oh, they are incredibly strong as the RC pops her belly, skips across. No, don't tell me he's going to be able to still get this. What? Can he still get his Royal Champion? There's a low health single target Inferno. She's moving her way in, but he's getting time. 27 seconds. Single target Inferno's going down. What? Are you serious? The power of his heroes. He does still 3-star this base, and P. Castro is staying perfect, and he hasn't failed yet. What?
What a save this was, and you can see really the pros know those strategies in and out, and especially he not reinvested anything into the Lalo. You have seen that. He had many loons on the back end because he knew, okay, this Lalo is done. The Warden ability is not good. Like, we had to use that early. There is still a lot of damage on the backline. So let's just use the loons, which I still have remain, to snipe off those buildings. So he really nicely adjusted on the fly with trying. And especially that invisibility spell. I know a lot of people are going to be upset that this is a 3-star, but I feel like the majority of people would have not used that invisibility spell, especially that quick thinking like he did, redirecting, because the Yeti Mites were about to jump into the Inferno Tower, redirecting them to jump into the Town Hall, and with that, taking it down, because if that Town Hall would have stayed alive, this would have been a 1-star most likely, or even a low percentage attack, but with that invisibility, really nice save. Let's dive into the next one, because we have Space Station now with a complete different approach with those spaces. This time around, it's the anti-3-star setup, and we're going to see our first ground attack. I'm happy.
Yes, indeed. We've got our Super Bowlers, with Queen Charge Lalo being the most common attack strategy coming in.
Do you think we need more chips?
Think beyond the snack rack, Jeff. Blend yourself some for real milkshake goodness. You're buying, right?
Here's the problem. Nobody knows what Hulu Plus Live TV is.
Yeah, it comes with over 75 live channels with sports like NFL games, plus Disney Plus, plus ESPN Plus.
What if we call it Hulu Plus Live TV Plus Plus Plus?
That's dumb, but we're gonna go with it.
Wow, we're on Verizon now.
Because of their new plan, One Unlimited for iPhone. It comes with Apple One. That's Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and iCloud Plus.
All included on the network you want to be on.
Exactly. We could be up here all weekend listening to The Weekend.
While flinging Angry Birds.
Not you. You're lovely. Are you napping?
No, I'm watching my favorite show, starring me.
Get your Apple favorites all in one plan. Introducing One Unlimited for iPhone. And now get iPhone 14 Pro on us, only on Verizon.
In at about over almost 70 times. We have Super Bowler Smash being the third most used strategy, and this actually has the highest hit rate at a 74% of the time, getting a 3 stars. So let's see what Philip can do here with the Warden walking into the Town Hall through this Ground Expo, and the Flame Flingers looking to help secure the multi-target Inferno, the Mortar. As long as he can provide a little bit of distraction to keep that Flame Flinger nice and secure as he goes through, then he's going to look to send these Super Bowlers right on through towards that Eagle.
I think what makes this even more impressive, that the hit rate of this strategy is so high, is that it's not like maybe twice used, maybe 3 times used or something like that. No, this is the third most used strategy right now with the Super Bowlers. And so far, it's looking great. He's using the Giant to distract the Mortar. But right now, the first couple of shots are coming in. The tunnel is finally down. And at 1 minute and 40 seconds, he's starting with his Queen to get those healers switching over into the Smash. And this has taken a lot of time. And the Hog Rider is already released from that Siege Barracks.
Yeah, he's got the Hogs, but he needs the Warden to follow the Super Bowler. He pops the ability, which protects a few of the Hogs here. But the Queen has taken the healers as she's making her way into the core. Now she's going to get stuck on that. What? The healers, they transfer off to the Super Bowlers. What a clutch healers here to help keep them alive in the core and not staying on his Queen.
Yeah, now all of those skeletons and Tesla are popping up around this bottom side. The Royal Champion was to take down this entire flank because there was no damage. But instead, he's saving her with that invisibility spell. And take a look at that, Corbin. He even used the Unicorn on the Royal Champ, and the top side is not looking too bad, but 50 seconds.
Wait, he does have a raid spell he can use on his RC and the Unicorn down there, but he decides to rage up these Super Bowlers. They're making their way through. There's the freeze onto the scatter shot. There's not much time. The Queen, the RC is going down. Oh, he uses the freeze, which is going to be clutch for these Wizards to help clean up down south. He needs a Queen ability to get faster. That defending King is going to be annoying. Oh, no.
No way. He's chasing the Unicorn. And with that, the Wizard is switching to the King. And time feels like the big issue. This Warden Walk just took way too long, but is this maybe a miracle? I don't really see it, to be honest, but we have seen miracles before.
We have indeed. But unfortunately, that King is going to stall him up, and this is going to be a 2-star. Philip is not going to be able to get this 96% 2-star, and literally those 4 buildings can make all the difference in this match, especially against a team like Space Station. And Bernal's base pulled strong there.
Yes, we said already, reported in this match. I mean, there's not many matches in the world where you would consider reported gaming being the underdog. But I think in this specific match versus Space Station, they're for sure the underdog. And they really had to stay to the last couple of attacks, I think, close to Space Station to make this a really, really incredible close match. But right now, already in the first attack, they're not able to get the 3-star. And especially, I think most of the time you're trying to do the attacks first, where you're saying, okay, guys, I see the plan right away. Let's not discuss any further about that. This is locked. I would just go in with that. I'm pretty confident with that. And this attack, where they're saying they're confident, this is the first attack to go for. This is the fail. That is really unfortunate. And I hope they have then some better approaches, maybe some better time management. I think power was enough, but Space Station now is up next. And they're going in again with Lalo. I mean, no big surprise. They're just the Lalo Kings. And they're just so good with this. And we see 3 Rocket Loons in the mix and a Lonely Valkyrie.
So there are 3 players on Space Station that are perfect so far throughout the qualifiers. And we already saw one of them, P. Castro. Another one is Leo, and he is up right here. And the third, of course, is Bernal. None of those players in Space Station have failed yet. They are perfect. But you know what happens is once you say that, you cause some jinxing to go on, and it causes some fails. But let's see if Leo can power through that here with this queen charging into the eagle. Then she's gonna make her way toward the balloon. Nice pulls a sneaking air mine there, but does that mean there's quite a bit of sneaking air mines through this charge? Let's keep our eye on this queen.
Oh, and now the blimp. That is quite a risky blimp, no? Isn't it? There is the blimp going, but there's no black mines on this angle, and because there's now some super sneaky goblins. No, just regular sneaky goblins. Taking that town hall now down without any problems, and even looking out the clan cast to a perfect timing where there's nearly no damage on this queen whatsoever. So this attack again is looking really solid for the Space Station guys.
Oh, that was perfect timing of the blim. Queen moving in, able to get that valley. Now going to continue this queen. There's a poison, a rage to keep this queen going. Now eventually through this enemy queen, and here comes a bit of the Lala with a warden right off the bat, and headhunters. Giant bomb pops the warden ability for these balloons and rages them up. Help get through the scatter shot even quicker. Oh, look at that! The tornado trap was on the outside of Oh, imagine if Leo went to the other side. He would have got baited, and that blimp would have went down. Wow.
Yeah. And it's again this two-phase Lalo, I want to call it. This is what they're always doing right now. They're sending in one Lalo part, or I would more just sending in loons with the ward together, and then one hound with loons from the top side. But again, he's relying completely on his heroes. The king ability is giving him some more power at the top side. He has no warden ability left. He has still quite a few of spells left, I have to say. And again, this Sing Inferno Tower is now getting overwhelmed, and it's the heroes which are doing all of the work.
It's the power of the heroes indeed. Uses a freeze, rage onto the minions to help take out that ground expo even faster. And look at this, with an RC ability, the Queen ability. And this is yet another 3-star here from Space Station. And what an attack! It's not your typical standard Lala where you typically see the Hound coming in, balloons moving your way around. No! He uses balloons with the raged up Warden, Headhunters to clear the Royal Champion, and doing a different type of Lalo that you don't typically see. I never would even think about trying to do what he just did, but hey, that's a 3-star for Space Station. They're keeping the 3 stars rolling in.
Yeah, and I think especially just the approach overall with knowing, okay, heroes are strong, but how can we set them up as well to make them look even stronger than they already are? And I feel like he did a really good job in going into all of those heavy defenses, like the Expos. He took down majority of those Expos, either with the Queen or with the Lalo. His scatter shot was taken down. So all of those important defense, which are dealing a lot of damage towards the King, towards the Royal Champ and everything, were taken down in the beginning. So those heroes can then overtake the core, where what is most of the time in the core? Yes, that's right, a multi-Inferno Tower. I don't think any hero cares about a multi-Inferno Tower, so this is a really nice setup overall from Space Station. Now we're back, and I mean, I love Reported so far for what they're doing. First, Super Bonus, and now Queen Charge Hybrid. It seems like they have listened to my introduction where I said, okay, I want to see ground attacks. Now I hope that they're going to, well, succeed, because otherwise this might me feel kind of bad.
Really, indeed. The ground attacks is what Repotted wants to bring in. As this Queen is charging her way through, for anyone that's interested on the other matches, we have Queen Walkers that have 2 triples right now against Inquisition, who have failed. And then we have GS, who has 2 triples as well. Blind Esports has failed in their match. And then Marshall's Kiss has started off with a 3-star as well. For that message, Stella has a 3-star in their match as well. So we'll provide you guys some updates throughout as this goes on. But it looks like we have the tunnel going down for Giannis. Taking that down, starting this Queen to continue her way through this section. Oh, she's making her way a little bit more left here. Not going behind where the tunnel was in that compartment. So she can help grab the scatter shot, the enemy Queen. And then maybe send the hybrid through the Eagle on the left side? We'll have to see. Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that was right or not.
Yeah.
She's keep going to the bottom side, but at the same time now, there's 2 bomb towers. I feel like it was not planned the pathing like this, but with this, I want to say no buildings at the bottom side of the town hall. It was somewhat to be expected, I guess. But let's see if he can see the power through those both bomb towers. He tried to take one of them out with the Babe Dragon, which did not work. But this Queen just doing her own thing, walking around the outside, and now finally approaching the Eagle. But is this still enough? I mean, Hybrid can be strong if there is no spring traps, and I think so far I'm not seeing too many Hogs flying.
Oh,
Never mind.
There's a few. Right as you say, the Hogs are getting sprung. As now Hogs are from that Siege Barracks going over towards that topside multi, but they are getting picked off really quickly. Rud Champion already burned her ability. Queen has her ability here, but he needs to protect his RC, and he does just that to try to take out this multi-target Inferno. But you know his Queen. Oh my goodness. And the Queen, she's avoiding the Eagle. She's just doing her own thing, staying on the outside of this base.
Clean electrolytes on a mission to get you up and moving. Noon hydration.
Omen 16 has an exquisite fan-powered cooling system. So surround it with exquisite air from a can. An aluminum can. Introducing Air by Omen. And the Omen 16 laptop.
Wow, we're on Verizon now.
Because of their new plan, One Unlimited for iPhone. It comes with Apple One. That's Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and iCloud Plus.
All included on the network you want to be on.
Exactly. We could be up here all weekend listening to The Weekend.
While flinging Angry Birds.
Not you. You're lovely. Are you napping?
No, I'm watching my favorite show, starring me.
Get your Apple favorites all in one plan. Introducing One Unlimited for iPhone. And now get iPhone 14 Pro on us, only on Verizon.
This Queen really hates to go inside the base, I feel like.
Wow.
She really tried to avoid doing that. I know everything is lying on this Queen. He can wall break her in. Like, he can wall break her in. As soon as this Tesla is down, the wall break should work. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And now the time is the issue. That's the big question. Is time going to be enough, Corbin?
Oh, those balloons were clutch on the Tesla over there. Now they're moving into the Archer Tower to help provide a little bit of extra damage with the Queen ability. And it looks like he is still able to get the 3-star with this hybrid. The Queen going the wrong way, even though he did grab the Town Hall. But he did not. He wanted that Queen to go a little bit higher up to grab the bomb towers, because that would have been 2 bomb towers the Queen would have been able to reach and secure. And especially if you take those down, any hog attack, a minor attack, a hybrid, it does really well because you don't have to worry about the splash from the bomb tower explosion. But he still was able to get it done after a lot of things were going wrong.
Hybrid OP, hybrid just OP. Now, I'm kidding, but I think no one really expected base building wise that someone is playing hybrid into 2 bomb towers. I think this was not really to be expected, so I guess that's always the big thing. If you're not hitting those spring traps with your hybrid, you're looking good. This is still an incredible, powerful strategy in the game, especially if you can control the Queen. This time the Queen had her own mind and just circuit the entire base. But I mean, it has worked out, so really good job to the Queen. But now it's back to Space Station. I'm wondering what type of Lalo we're seeing next. What is it?
Oh!
Wait. Wrong script. Why is there witches in this one? Marinelle, what are you doing?
Wow, we've got Marnal coming in with the Super Witch. And this attack has only been used once with the Super Witches. It's not used many times. And let's see, that in stage 3, just to clarify here, so in stage 3, Super Witches only used one time, and it did get a triple. There was a Super Witch Lightning, Super Witch Zap that was used as well that failed. But the walking into the Super Witches here with the healers, maybe 2 times I would say here. This is going to take a lot of time. That's the thing, is with Super Witches, you need to get them down nice and early, otherwise you're going to run the risk of time failing. And so, just over 2 minutes, 10 seconds, that's when he's got the Super Witches deployed to move his way on in.
Yeah, and he has 2 regular witches. And, I mean, I have to say I tried them out a little bit as well, like the Super Witches in my last couple of attacks, because I just want them to make... I just want them work somehow, because I think it's a pretty cool troop. I feel like witches, a lot of times, I don't know if they really make the job that great with cleaning things up, because the king is already there. He's using his siege perks as well, so maybe he could have used something different. But right now, he's struggling a little bit to get through this core, because the Town Hall, the Tornado Trap, the defending Lava Hound, everything is attacking his troops.
Yep, he's got the Rage down. He's going to hopefully lock onto this Town Hall, taking some time because of the Hound that popped there. But pops the Warden Eternal Tome as they step right into that Town Hall poison. But we have the King ability running around the outside of the space with the Raw Champion now coming down as well. Yetis have come out of that Siege Barracks, moving his way through. These healers keeping his troops alive. He's looking pretty good as he's rounding the backside of the space now.
Yeah, and it's just crazy how powerful, sorry, those troops around the outside can be. And take a look at how many spells they have left. This looks incredible. Wow.
Yeah, look at these troops. They are just making their way around this base nice and easy. Has the RC ability spell. Has an invisibility spell. What an attack here from Marnal with the Super Witches. And look at the time. He's got 30 seconds left to clean up the outside of this base. Can pop the RC to skip across, and he does just that. Drops the balloon minion wizard over to help the left side clean up. The queen is behind this wall here. She'll have to make her way back around with her ability. But this is another 3-star from Space Station. And you cannot afford to fail once against a team like Space Station. Because if you do, you won't have the chance to make that comeback if Space Station puts up a perfect ward potentially.
It is just so crazy how consistent they are. Like, Space Station looking unstoppable so far. Bringing out the Super Witches as a specific counter, I guess, to the ring base. Because they felt like, okay, this last Lalo attack was maybe a little bit close. Maybe we should try something different. And now we're going to see those Super Witches. So really nicely done from Marinelle. And this means we're back to repot it. And they're still in the position that they have to keep 3-starring and hoping and praying for a great defense. This is all what they can do, and keep 3-starring. That's, nothing more they can do at this point.
Yeah, they got to keep 3-starring and hope that they get a defense with one of the attacks falling short, because Bernal, you could kind of expect him to come in with a 3-star, right? Because he's been perfect throughout it all. So then they're just going to hope on the last attack, or whoever that is for Space Station, to fail, and that's where they will hopefully have a chance to make the comeback. And we got Matt coming in with the E-Dragons, and E-Dragons in stage 3 has tripled only 50% of the time, and it's been used 16 times total, with 8 of them being 3-stars. So let's see if he's able to get us done with sneaky goblins inside of this blimp, trying to secure this town hall with no spells. And he does just that. Well done. Town Hall goes down. And that's gonna help set up the one side of the funnel to push the E-Dragons into the core of the base.
Yeah, but I feel like the biggest problem for him is that this air defense did not go down at this bottom side around the town hall. I feel like this was something he was really counting on. So that's really unfortunate. At the same time, he has to invest now a freeze to somehow get rid of this headhunter at the top side, which is right now a bit hard to see. But There's the Headhunter, which attacked the Queen, and he forced the freeze, so that's nothing which is good for him. Right now, he's trying now to take down this air defense at the left side, because this would be an air defense staying alive for a lot of time. Really shooting at those Electro Dragons non-stop from the flank.
Yeah, it pops that warning ability, clips a bunch of the E-Dragons through as they making their way into the core of the space. His heroes, King, Queen, are going to make their way all the way to the edge on the far right side. Now, doesn't have to worry about the CC since he's already taken it out. Pulling a few red air bombs into the core. He's hanging on to the World Champion of trying to find the best opportunity to use her as we have a few sticky air mines going off, hitting these E-Dragons.
Yeah, now this is always what is so important on the back end. How are those lightnings looking like? Is he going to get good chains or not? And right now, the answer is, I think, pretty simple, because there's no Electro Dragons left. The invisibility spell is too late. And this means now he is in a big problem. Maybe he can have the same hero power as we have seen earlier from Space Station. But at the same time, though, this is going to be a little bit problematic, considering that he has an Expo, actually 2 Expo still standing, a Royal Champion until a couple of seconds, and defending Warden and the Scatter. That's a lot of damage on those heroes. It's not going to be easy, but it's still possible. Unicorn is alive, and Queen is getting healed up.
Yeah, that Queen is getting healed up. The King's Barbarians are helping tank this King now as he's making his way around. Is there going to be a chance still? There's still 3-star. Are you serious? But time, that's going to be a problem. This air defense and builder hut might just be the last 2 things remaining if the Queen and King get through all this. Marno's looking to try to help defend. 15 seconds. There's 2 big storages. Hope without slow health. The ground skeletons are popping up. We're just going to slow him down. Wow.
Yeah, and we have not only talked about the offensive power of Space Station, right? We have talked about their defense as well. They were able to win earlier already versus Queen Walkers, not only because of their incredible offense, but as well because of their really, really strong defense. I mean, they have one of the best defenses right now out of the remaining 8 teams.
Yeah. It's incredible. The defenses for Space Station have also been on another level, just like they're attacking. That's why they have not lost so far in any of the stages through the ladder, through the double elimination first one, through the Swiss, and now they're back into the last stage of the double elimination. But if you guys are wondering what another match in the upper bracket, we have Inquisition and Queen Walkers going on at the moment. Queen Walkers and Inquisition are tied up completely, both at 8 stars, but Queen Walkers have a 3-building lead at the moment, because the winner of this match is going to take on the winner of Inquisition and Queen Walkers in the upper bracket, and then the winner of that gets a golden ticket. But before we can get ahead of ourselves, we're watching Bernal going in for Space Station. He has not failed yet throughout the qualifiers, as we have the Queen charge Lalo, his special.
Learn with flying colors this year with 2 times the sticking power.
My baby sis is buying a car. You'll need my secret weapon.
Gross, no. Anyway, I already used Capital One Auto Navigator. Found my car online and got pre-qualified instantly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
What's in your wallet?
Feeling, trying, color your spread. Upgrade your bread, pair it, share it, square it.
Dropping the Queen to the top side, gonna make her way closer towards the Eagle Artillery, it looks like, and trying to stay away from this air defense so that his healers don't get hit.
Yeah, and he was just, still is, so good as well in Legends until the point where he said, okay, he has to prepare, he has to put more time into this preparation for the Clash of Clans World Championship, but I think he still loves to attack those Legend style bases. He was just obliterating them when he was pushing really top 10 in the world in Legend League and everything. He is just one of the best Queen Judge Lalo attackers out there, and he tries to prove that again with taking down yet another box base, and especially one of the best teams which is building box bases. Like Reported is really known for their incredible base building skills. For example, with their ring bases, their box bases, they're known for that. So let's take a look if Bernal can take this out, because so far this queen did not take down that much, but now it's all about again with this Lalo taking down the damage. We have talked about that earlier, trying to take down the scatter and the expo, everything which is threatening those heroes.
Yeah, with that rage now onto the Town Hall, Yetis do secure that as the Lava Hound, forcing that Queen ability to take out the air defense, but he needs these balloons to make their way over to the multi-target Inferno. They haven't, still has his King and RC to utilize, as he's going to have a little mini Lalo come to the bottom side, but no, he does not grab that multi-target Inferno, decide not to invest a freeze spell onto it, which could have frozen the multi and the sweeper. Now he's going to rely on his Queen to continue her way through, waiting on this King and RC. Man, he's waiting patiently to use them.
Yeah, trying to wait as long as possible, trying to support those heroes on the back end. Again, the heroes are the important factor. He's relying on the heroes. It's not about the Lalo, it's about the heroes taking down the important defenses out. And this Royal Champion is going directly for the single Inferno Tower. That would be clutch. But the Queen at the top that is struggling. Oh no, the Queen is going down. And that might be the deciding factor for maybe this base defending, but the King is tanking as well.
Oh, the King is still up. The RC is hanging on here as he's making his way around to the Scattershot, but the Scattershot and Archer Tower are going to work together, and the Scattershot stays up, and we've got a defense. And Bernal is going to be falling short, not going to be getting a 3-star. And this is exactly what Repotted needs, but they need a little bit more help. They need another fail to come in from Space Station to hope that then they can have a chance, because they're down by 2 triples overall, but 89% there for General X's defense is amazing against a player just like Bernal, who hasn't failed until just then, falling short in that attack. But Space Station know that if they triple their next attack, they are guaranteed to move on anyways, because they have 2 defenses against Repotted. But Repotted have to triple their next 2 attacks to have a chance.
That's right, and I think everyone should get ready. At least the clashes out there who are in Legend or who are in Clan Wars or Clan War League, you will see this base a lot of times, I think, in the next couple of days, because this is an incredible defense. I mean, not only versus Bernal, which makes this even more impressive, but an 89% 2-star defense for this level is really, really solid. So seeing that is quite impressive. And now then, it's back again to Repotted, and they have to 3-star. You have said this already. They have to still hope for a defense. But first, they need to 3-star on their own. If they're not doing that, well, then the defense would not even matter at this stage anymore. And General X is in with the Inferno Dragons.
And with the Bat Spell and Rocket Loon to help provide the distraction so the Rocket Loon can move its way in and then pull the Seeking Air Mine, which is brilliant, so that the Blimp doesn't get popped too early. Takes out the Town Hall through the rage. Takes out an Expo. Takes out a Wizard Tower as well. And the air defense. Brilliant value with that Blimp. Very nice job as now pulling the Goblins, the Lava Hound, Headhunter to the bottom side of the space. Using his Queen as well. Gonna have to drop that Poison Spell, or he just clears the Headhunt. Oh, the Queen's taking a little extra damage, but does get through the Headhunter right there. Has about half health left. Drops that Poison Spell now to set up the mass Inferno Dragons.
And you have to remember, 1 entire minute is already gone. Yes, air attacks are just quicker in general because they can just ignore the walls. But 1 minute gone, that's already 1/3 of the attacking time completely out of this one. So he has to really rely on the power of those Inferno Dragons through the entire base, using bat spells and skeleton spells to distract defenses. The core single Inferno Tower is of course a nice thing to distract with an skeleton spell like this. But right now this Sweeper is pushing all of those Inferno Dragons to the outside, and not that many are actually going for the core, and this is a big problem.
That is the problem there, but that one Inferno Dragon making its way into the middle, which is brilliant to take down that Inferno Tower. He's got his Inferno Dragons moving their way now back to the middle as he freezes up the scatter with the Royal Champion coming behind the skeleton spell that he deployed. The Queen still got her ability. His RC still has it. The Kings just died off, but the Barbarians are still moving their way around, trying to have these Dragon Riders join into the core. As the Royal Champion's ability goes off, down goes the Ground Axe. So Queen burns her ability, trying to make their way to that multi-target Inferno with one Invis left here.
Yeah, Royal Champion jumping over the wall, and the Inferno Tower should go down. It's now not many defenses and not many troops, but I think as long as there's not a crazy amount of traps, this is going to be the 3-star reported needed to have still at least the dream of getting back into this match and staying alive. The dream is still alive of the upset happening, and Space Station now have to get their 3-star in to make sure that, well, they're not giving Reported the possibility of going for this upset.
Yeah, upsets indeed up in the upper bracket because Space Station is the favorites coming in as they were the overall #1 seed and haven't lost as well. But a few updates as well for those viewers at home for the other matches, because there's 4 matches going on right now here in the bracket. We have GS, who is 4 for 4 against, we have Blind Esports, who only have the 9-star. So that's 12-9. They've got the lead for GS. So they're looking good to potentially to advance as well. Queen Walkers, because the winner of this match is going to take on Queen Walkers. We have 11-11 tie right now in that match. And Queen Walkers are up by still the 3 buildings. And then the last match as well is going to be Marshal's Kiss versus SG Tristella. Marshal's Kiss, if I'm looking over here on the stats to my side, is down. So SG Tristella has 10. Marshal's Kiss has 9 right now in that match. So, a lot of these matches is going to be really interesting as the final results are coming in. We have Soleno coming in with that Queen Charge Lalo as well. 3 Rocket Loons. Potentially to go. Well, we have the air defense that's a little bit deeper, so he has to be careful about that. But if this fails, Reported has potentially a chance to try to make that comeback.
Yeah, the chance is there, and especially like those bases which look symmetrical, but they're not. Because take a look at the Inferno Towers. Yes, one single Inferno Tower at the top side and one multi-Inferno Tower at the bottom side. And now it's all about the mind games, okay? It's now all about the mind games. What is the what is the side the attacker is going into? Are they going to charge into the multi-Inferno Tower, which is, I would say, more likely, or not? So you can trap the side and everything. But at the same time, I feel like maybe they have tweaked the base a little bit, but I think they have used a similar, at least really similar base to this one already last week in stage 3, if I remember correctly. But let's see if that's going to work, because back then the blimp actually was baited near the Royal Champion. That's how it was defended last time. But let's dive into this one, because the Queen Charge so far, Carbon Fin, looks incredible. Especially take a look at the Rocket Loons. They're even taking down the Expo as well. Never mind.
Yeah, it just barely stayed up, but it meant they took down an important thing, which was the air defense, so that his healers through this charge did not get taken down. But that Stone Slammer is slowly moving its way in, and a Lalo is going to come over the Town Hall, but we got Teslas and more Teslas all popping up here. The Queen taking some shots from the Eagle Artillery, but she is staying alive here. One more Rage maybe to keep her going, because that's a lot of value that this Queen can take down.
Yeah, she can reach so many buildings over there. The Rage would be needed. Nope, the Queen ability instead is getting forced, so he's using the Rage for the Loons at the top side to get them out of that Town Hall. And again, it seems like those box spaces really look strong versus the Lalo attacks from Space Station. Yes, the King left, but Carbon, I am not sure if the King and the Royal Champ are strong enough for the back end.
Oh no.
Ed Vance here, and I'm at my favorite place again.
Sorry, did you say your name is Ed Vance?
That's me.
Like advance?
Crazy, right? And it just so happens he knows everything in advance.
Oh, you know the future? Did you know I needed 10W30?
No. I just know everything here in Advanced Auto Parts, like where the 10W30 is.
So you don't know what I'll do next?
Actually, I do. You will be going to the oil aisle.
He's good.
He's Ed Vance.
I spent a lot of time here.
He's here a lot.
This is how we advance.
If we can hold this position, we're solid, bro.
What's going on?
I'm starving, dude.
You're gonna blow our cover.
Wow, we're on Verizon now.
Because of One Unlimited for iPhone. It comes with Apple One. That's Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and iCloud Plus.
All included on the network you want to be on.
Get One Unlimited for iPhone and get iPhone 14 Pro on us when you pre-order. Verizon.
Oh, this is going to be a question mark. We have to scatter the single target Inferno there. That the single locks down of the queen. He does have a freeze. Decides to use it onto the single to keep his queen going. We have the ground expo on the backside. King's ability finally just goes off. Has the Raw Champion a few balloons to kind of help snipe these buildings down to the bottom side, moving his way through. That RC is getting stuck onto the tornado trap. 25 seconds time is a question mark, but these balloons are coming in clutch to help pick off these defenses over the wall.
This Headhunter trying his best to take down the gold storage, and time is ticking, but it seems like the time is not ticking fast enough. And this attack is turning into a 3-star. Space Station has done it multiple times. We have seen again 7 loons and both of the heroes, the King and the Royal Champion, both were safe for the back end to get the power through. The balloons were used to distract defenses, to take down defenses which were distracted by the King, really working together nicely. And this Lalo is only really specifically designed to take down a certain area of the base. In this case, to take down the tunnel compartment, because the Town Hall, I think, were 2 X-bows, for example, in this compartment, which are all big threats to heroes. So this is the entire purpose of this Lalo. Dealing with threats towards the heroes, and then the heroes are going to finish things off. And keep working for them. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is insane. But the thing I'm noticing in those attacks as well that Space Station is doing is they're saving a handful of balloons for the end to try to help pick off defenses to help grab that. As we have the final attack for Repotted. Yes, this cannot win them the match, but of course they just want to add 3 stars. And updates on some other wars that we have. Queen Walkers have just tripled their final attack, putting them to 14, meaning that Queen Walkers have won their match no matter what. So Queen Walkers will be advancing to take on Space Station in the next round. And SG Stella and the lower matches, but still in the upper bracket, they have just defeated Marshall's Kiss as well. So Marshall's Kiss will be going down. That will be a 13 to Marshall's Kiss is trying to put up 12 in that match. And then GS has defeated Blind Esports. GS puts up a perfect war, 15 stars in their match. Wow, some crazy stuff that we have in this upper bracket. And we're looking at this attack from Fantastic. This Warden Walk Flameflinger has set up their values, and now he's going to continue now sending his King in with this attack. But he's got a Warden Walk into... Now I'm trying to put this together into a little mini Lalo here.
Yeah, it's a cool idea to play this Warden Walk into like a hero dive, but instead of just using regular troops, he's adding the... Well, he's just... oh, no. Wait, Sneaky Goblins. Oh. Yes, Tunnel is going down. He's keep adding the healer, or he's just adding the healers to the heroes. Another invisibility spell to make sure the Tunnel is going down. And take a look at that. At this point, the question is then, what is left for the Lalo? Because this hero dive is still going. We still have the jump spell leading those troops into the back end. And then the Lalo just for this bottom side, where there is one scatter shot. The Multi-Inferno Tower, both Multi-Inferno Towers actually should go down. And this means this Lalo has to take down the scatter compartment. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, if he takes that compartment down with the Rage, RC ability does go off, moving his way through with that freeze through that section as he's trying to get through the Archer Tower. The Ground Expo doing some damage, has a Rage, have Freeze spell to try to keep his RC alive through the enemy RC. There's the last Rage coming down, and look at all these balloons. This is looking fantastic for Tim-tastic with a few minions left to utilize Queen ability as well. And what an attack! A Warden Walk Flameflinger into a Lalo and Sneaky Goblins to help grab that Town Hall. You don't see that all too often. And unfortunately, it's not going to be enough for Repotted Gaming to get the victory here. So they're only going to be getting 13 stars. And that's what happens if you fail twice trying to win a match is going to be very difficult at this stage. And if you even just fail once, you still have a chance of losing it. But unbelievable there. Congratulations to Space Station. They are now one match away from getting a golden ticket. So, Itsu, we know since Queen Walkers have won their match, guaranteed either Queen Walkers or Space Station is going to the World Finals. That's pretty insane.
That's pretty insane, but I mean, it's somewhat to be expected as well, I would say, because a lot of people have ranked those two teams as rank 1 and rank 2. But I think we can take a look at the bracket, if I heard that right. So let's jump in and see how all of the match results were. Like, what is the next matches looking like? I think that's the easiest on how we can say that. So we're going to dive into that, and we see Queen Walkers has beaten Inquisition. I think we can add the results as well. 14-14 on percentage. It was, I think, a 2-bidding difference or something like that. Reported versus Space Station. We have just seen that match. Blind Esports losing versus GS with 12-15. Impressive showing by GS. And then we have Marshall's Kiss losing to SG Tristella, with SG Tristella getting 13 stars, Marshall's Kiss only 12. And this results into the next rounds. And as you have said earlier, we're going to, at this point, witness every single match, which is for a golden ticket. So we're going to watch the next two matches are Queen Walker Stephanie versus Space Station and GS versus SG Tristella. Those are the next two matches for this broadcast. Those are the next two matches we are going to watch, and I cannot wait for especially this first match. We have to say it. Those were the teams we have said from the beginning would be in our power rankings. I would just call it rank 2 and rank 1. And I cannot wait to see them facing off again, because it is somewhat of a rematch, right?
Yeah, absolutely insane. But we're going to welcome back Maxi here to the team. And what a match we had with Space Station and Repotted Gaming. What a performance. And of course, about the other matches, they came in with insane scores as well. Maxi, what was your thoughts that we just saw there?
Yeah, absolutely incredible matches, and I love how Space Station kept on using their, new version of the Queen Charge Lalo, I would call it, especially in the last attack with Zelinho. Like, it seemed so far, so long, it seemed that it wouldn't be a 3-star, but then he just, as you said, held on to these couple of balloons, and the heroes, the King especially with his ability, and the Royal Champion, they always somehow get the rest of the buildings down in their attacks. So incredible showing, and incredible how they are, experimenting with the meta and finding new ways to use an already known attack strategy, and really caught the RPG guys out of off guard here, because they are known for their good base building, as Itsu pointed out during the stream, but they couldn't defend Space Station, so they are still unbeaten. And we have yet to see if in the next match Queen Walkers can finally be the team to beat Space Station, because they actually still have a revenge open against them, because last week they lost on percentage in a 14-14 war. So that's going to be a very, very nice match to see.
Yes, this is going to be the match that everyone's got their eyes on. We saw it before, and then we see it again. Still, it's going to be, whoever loses this match between Queen Walkers and Space Station will get to push to the lower bracket, and they will then be the favorites to make it from the lower bracket as another golden ticket team. So we saw Bernal coming in with Space Station, and he failed. Right? He failed his attack, but it was okay because Space Station was still able to advance. But was there anything that surprised you about this match, Itsu, with Space Station? Or was it kind of maybe bringing in the Super Witch with Marno on a ring base? Or was it the different type of Lalo attack that they did? Or anything else, Itsu, that kind of surprised you here?
I think for me the most surprising thing is, and I feel like we had this in the first attack, where we had, I think, Picastro versus the ring base, just the approaches Space Station take with their Lalo and how they're playing this strategy. Because I feel like at this stage, with not too many meta changes overall, I feel like everyone knows how to play specific strategies, right? And last week, Space Station has thrown in a complete different version of how to play Queen Charge Lalo. And just 1 week later, they're throwing in another way on how to play Queen Charge Lalo. Even though it's the same strategy, but they're having completely different approaches, which I feel like is Yes, it's the same name, but it's a different play style, which I feel like is really, really hard then for the base builders to adapt. And I think this, to me, that they're coming up back-to-back weeks with different approaches on how to play this strategy is really impressive, especially with seeing this meta being around for already quite some time. So really saving into the last two deciding weekends, and I cannot wait to see if this is maybe just a counter versus the basis of reported, or if
Investing can be a lot like basketball. Going hard for the first 12 minutes means nothing if you can't perform right up to the buzzer. So try not to get distracted by short-term opportunities when you can play the long game and focus on innovative companies that could be game changers for years to come.
Hey, coach.
Join the team and learn to invest like a baller at Fidelity.com.
Wow, we're on Verizon now.
Because of One Unlimited for iPhone. It comes with Apple One. That's Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and iCloud Plus.
All included on the network you want to be on.
Get One Unlimited for iPhone and get iPhone 14 Pro on us when you pre-order. Verizon.
Yo, my guy, can you get me a sandwich, please? Base sauce, smoked turkey, provolone cheese, peppercini, pickles, guacamole topped with Funyuns on a white roll. Base subs, available now exclusively on DoorDash.
if this is something which they're going to repeat, maybe then versus Queen Walkers. This is going to be then interesting to follow over their next matches, or maybe the next match, depending on if they're going to win. But that would be the 1 point for me. Maxi, what about you?
I also want to very quickly say something to that, because this is also going to be very interesting to see how it will develop for the World Championship. We don't know which of these teams will get there, but there are already 4 teams qualified. And some of those teams, especially I'm thinking about X Team Esports and Tribe Gaming, are known for experimenting very much with the meta, with the troops, and coming up with new approaches. And these teams have had a lot of time, even more than Space Station, to prepare, especially for the World Championship. Maybe even a new style of bases. We don't know. All of these teams that are already qualified have some of the best base builders in the world as well. So I'm very excited about that. First of all, like all of this thinking outside of the box. I mean, all of us, we really love to see it and see new ways. It's always just so creative and cool to watch. But then about this match, I would say it looks like Space Station. They were just, as solid as ever, putting up 14 stars and not beaten. But RPG were actually better than it looks on the scoreboard. I mean, they just had 2 fails, and if we remember, both of them were time fails. Like the one with the E-Dragons, the Queen was still alive. It was very close. We don't know for sure if it would have been a triple, but it was very close. And in the end, they had the better percentage. So if just one of their very close fails would have gotten the 3-star with just 5 seconds more in the clock, for example, they would have been the first team to beat Space Station. So this war already showed that Space Station is beatable. They can have slip-ups. We saw Bernal, who is rock solid so far. He was perfect so far in stages 2 and 3. If I remember I Chased the Aces stats correctly, and he had his first fail here, and it was a low percentage one. So there is a chance for them to slip up, and it's going to be really interesting if that might happen against Queen Walkers, or if they don't let the nerves get to them, because this next match is going to be for the World Championship, finally.
Yes, it is. A golden ticket is on the line into this match. And all the next matches that we watch are going to be golden ticket matches. Yes, we have 4 more matches to think about, right? Think about that, right? The next 4 wars that we cover here today, every single one is going to have a golden ticket. To think that we spent how many months to give away 4 golden tickets, and then the next 4 matches is going to be 4 golden tickets? That's just mind-blowing to think about, because we had to go through all those community tournaments. We traveled, we did all this to get and find X Team, MSE Sports, Tribe Gaming, and Strut. And that took all that time for them, and now we're about to witness 4 more golden tickets being given away. But this next match, the first one that we're going to be watching for the golden ticket up, is going to be Queen Walkers and Space Station. So that's the one that we got our eyes on here. And the question is, what types of bases do you think Itsu, and then we'll go to you, Maxi, Queen Walkers have to run to try to stop Space Station? You think there is a specific base that could try to stop them, or you just got to hope that they make one small slip up?
Oh, this is again really tough call. I feel like just Space Station looks, in my opinion, just too solid. Yes, Benol had one fail, but at the same time, overall they look really, really strong, and we have to say, Reported are one of the best space players as well. So having, one defense is something which I would kind of expect as well if they're putting that much time into it. And yeah, so I feel like Space Station has the upper hand. Or how do you feel about that, Maxi?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, also Queen Walkers have some of the best base builders in the world, and they I'm pretty sure that they have been preparing for Space Station as well. Of course, they have prepared mostly for their first match, because you can never call anything too early. You have to win against every single team. But they probably knew that it was very likely that at some point they would have to face the rock-solid team Space Station. So I think they might have looked very closely at what they do and how they approach bases, and maybe they have prepared something especially for Space Station, or especially for one of their attackers. So that's what I'm excited to see. And I think there can be one or two defenses, but then when it comes to the base types, as you asked, Carbon, I think that anti-2s are the weakest bases against Space Station. I felt like they were so, they felt so comfortable attacking the anti-2-star bases. And usually, we know the anti-2-star bases are often used because if the attacker makes a mistake, it often ends up a 1-star and can decide a match.
True.
But with these two teams, the attackers are so good, and they have shown it, and they've shown the consistency that we can't really expect them to slip that hard or to make such a big mistake that it will be a 1-star. So they will get a 2-star anyways, I would say, in general. And also, Space Station has attacked so many anti-2-star bases perfectly, and they always found the right approach. So I think they are they have just practiced too much on them. So I think anti-3s or box bases are the way to go. But I mean, it was one box base where Bernal failed, but then again, Celinio tripled the box base. So I think actually a good anti-3-star base where you offer maybe a certain way to attack the base could be the best way to defend against Space Station. And what about you, Carbon? Giving back the question.
Well, I really think, just if you run anti-2s, you just hope and cross your fingers. Like you said, it's probably not the right base to run against them, but if I was in the stage, that's what I would throw at you, right? I would be like, I would just hope you make a mistake, something goes wrong, maybe you catch them in something, because I would want them to have a chance at a 1-star or even the lower percentage 2-star. And that's what I personally would do. I'm not a pro player. I'm not a base builder. I'm probably completely wrong here, but I would like to probably say throw that at them and just hope for the best. Because I'm going to take a look at these stats here. So I'm going to look off to the side from Chase's stats that he's provided in terms of bases, because this is very interesting. When I talked about it before, when the first couple of attacks were going in, when out of the base usage for the qualifiers, we're taking a look at anti-3-star bases. Out of the wars, 213 of the wars that we had anti-3-star, or at least 213 bases were being used. And then the next lowest was 67 usage, which was box bases. So anti-3 was the most popular. Then the box style base was used the second most, followed by the ring, and then diamond was used the least. And so it goes. Box bases were used 67% or 67 times, then 38, and then 12. So diamonds were used definitely far less, and the most 1-stars was the anti-3. Kind of makes sense because one, it's used overwhelming the most, so mostly could have a higher chance of getting 1-stars overall. You take it all into account, but none of those times did we see a 1-star on ring bases, which then just proves my point is wrong, because they're not getting 1-star. So that's why you should be listening to me when it comes to any type of base design.
And also,
I'll just stop you. Yeah, Maxi?
And also, the highest hit rate is actually on ring bases. 76% hit rate on ring bases, while on anti-3 and box bases, it's just around 63, 64-ish. So that is very interesting. And just goes to show, I think, the farther you get in this tournament, the more practiced or the more routine the teams have, and because maybe of Legend League and because they have been in a pro scene for so long, that they just don't seem to struggle anymore against the ring bases. But still, I think they have a valid point, because this is going to be the most nerve-wracking match of all of them for those teams. And even experienced teams like Queen Walkers and Space Station, they know what's on the line. They know it's just one victory for the golden ticket, for the World Championship. I mean, if at any time they make a mistake, it might be in this match because there's just so much on the line.
Yeah. So I have a little kind of fun question then when it comes to bases is Itsu Maxi. So Itsu, for you, what base do you want to face the least? Right. So if you're forced to hit a base, let's say CWL, right? You only have one attack. You don't have a second try. Which base are you like, oh no, it just throws it? Is it rings? Is it boxes? Is it diamonds? Which one is the one base that like basically Itsu's like, no, I do not want to face this one?
I think the answer is maybe different to what you expect, because I would say ring bases, but the reason for this is because you can do less content on it. So when I try to do in my Clan War League, I'm trying to make content out of it, okay? So doing like mass sneaky goblins, yesterday I used like 12 super wall breakers, stuff like that. On ring base, it feels like you cannot get that creative, okay? On anti-3, you can, see this one little weakness, which is still maybe like a coin toss if it's baited or not, but still you can try to make it up. Like you can try to beat something around that. So it is a different reason than I guess you wanted or you intended with the question. So if I would ask if you...
One day you might wake up and think, time for a change. When your friend asks,
want to try this place?
And you say, you know what? Let's try this place instead. No sticky floor here. When you realize you've never seen a Broadway show, so maybe you'll treat your parents. They'll think it's neat.
This is neat.
So neat. When you say, I'm gonna go to Daytona Beach. Nope. I'm gonna go to the Caribbean. Or is it the Caribbean? And it's almost too beautiful to post. Almost. With Amex, it's never a question of if you're going to level up. It's when.
Wow, we're on Verizon now.
Because of One Unlimited for iPhone. It comes with Apple One. That's Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and iCloud Plus.
All included on the network you want to be on.
Get One Unlimited for iPhone and get iPhone 14 Pro on us when you pre-order. Verizon.
With more rental listings than anybody else, it was just inevitable that you were going to find everything that you were looking for on Apartments.com. It's got 12-foot ceilings, in-unit laundry, free parking, and central AC. Apartments.com, the place to find a place.
You would ask me, okay, what I would like to attack regarding just purely 3 stars. I think anti-3, because I'm not playing in that many matches anymore, so I'm playing a Legend League where there are ring bases, box bases, diamond shaped bases, so I'm more used to attacking them. So that's why I would say I would not like to take anti-3 when it comes down to I have to really attack. If it's just about me doing my goofy videos and strategies on them, then it's ring based, because it's less freedom. You have less chances of like playing weird stuff. At least that's for me. Maxi, how about you?
Okay, for me it's very clear. The least, the base type I would like to attack the least are box bases. I don't know why, but for some reason I always struggle most on box bases. I mean, there are so many different approaches possible, but I feel like also it makes it easier for the defender to defend the approaches, and like the fact that you have so many buildings well protected, like the town hall and the eagle are usually on opposite sides. They are well protected, yet so you have to invest a lot to get them. But then there's still the other building on the other side of the base, and then there's still the core where they always put all the multi-infernos and the scatter shots. So it's so hard to figure out where you can get the most value from, I feel. And on anti-3-star bases, for me at least, it seems easier to find the weak spot of the base. While box bases, they always tend to be a little bit the same, and I don't see the weak spot. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm sure there are a lot of pro players out there that like to attack and love to attack box bases because they just have figured them entirely out. But yeah, the favorite box base type for me to attack is still anti-3-star bases. I don't know, maybe that's what I'm most used to because I've been playing for so long. But yeah, that's it for me.
Absolutely.
What about you, Carbon? Anything you like to attack?
Anything that I like would be anti-3, right? Because like you said, it allows for the most creativity in terms of content-wise. Whenever it's a ring, Like if I'm scrolling in CWL and I see ring, oh, I click next instantly. And usually the thing is, when I like, I don't usually log in until for the CWL and check in until like the end of CWL, which means that I'm always forced with whatever's left, because every other base has either been attacked or it's been flagged, and I'm like, no, this is the ring base, and I have to attack this. Of course, thank you for leaving it for me, but I was like, I gotta log in earlier, claim my bases, which I usually always know, I always forget to. But yeah, it would probably be anti-3, which is what I prefer the hits, and then I usually get left with the rings in CWL, and then I have to think of some type of attack. Usually what I've been doing lately is like a queen charge, like blimp Yetis queen charge jumping into the town hall is usually what I feel the safest with of doing, trying to get, because I don't trust sending that blimp. I'm going to find a million sinking air mines or giant bombs. I'm going to lose either super archers or super wizards inside of that. I don't know how a lot of these people have faith in their blimps getting all the way to the core and grabbing the value. But another question that I'm just curious, is there anything, since you've both played on a world stage, right? You have made it. You've gotten golden tickets before, and we know the nerd. We know everything that goes into it. But is there anything like that surprised you when you got onto the stage, right? Was there anything that you were totally just thrown off by, or something that was really cool? Was there any moment that stood out in your mind for both of you, Itsu and Maxi, that you were sitting on the stage and you were like, whoa, I didn't expect this to happen? Or I don't know, just curious, like to kind of get your experience, because that's what's on the line in this match, a golden ticket and a trip to the World Final.
Yeah, I feel like one of the coolest things, I think it's easy to say, if you're sitting on stage and hearing the fans shout and everything, I think that has to be the coolest thing. But one thing which I did not expect, because I always thought, okay, because I watched so many events, I thought, okay, I could handle pressure somewhat good. But I remember still, I will never forget it, after my attack, where we have qualified in the first qualifier ever for Clash Wars in 2019, and I did this in the semifinals where we had to 3-star, and I did this last attack with the plan of Maxi, and Maxi sitting next to me and like spotting for me and everything, and I was that much in the zone, just like doing my attack. And after that, Maxi asked me like, how were you able to attack? Your hands were shaking so hard that he was barely figuring out how I was able to drop the troops somehow correctly. So I think that's still, I think I will never forget that. That was super funny. And since then, I'm trying to pay more attention to that. And it's really like, as soon as an important attack is coming up, I think that's just normal, but that is just what makes this so much exciting, is hands are, as soon as you're starting the attack, shaking. So I think that's for me the thing, which I think was kind of funny back then. What about you, Maxi?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that one too. That was crazy. It was the first time we were in the qualification tournament in Poland, I think 2019. Okay, anyway, so for me, I agree, first of all, with having fans in the audience. That's like the biggest change, the biggest difference to usually attacking, and it's such a good feeling when you get on the stage, and it actually calms you down a little bit. Of course, you're nervous because there are people watching, but the people are also cheering, so you know they are happy for you if you do a good attack. So it's just very, very cool. And then very quickly, because we are about to get into the next match for the first golden ticket today, what surprised me was actually that once you start the attack, you kind of forget everything around you. And that's what Itsu said. Even though his hands were shaking like crazy, he was in the zone. He didn't even realize it, because then again, it's something you've done over and over again. But yeah, guys, the next one is about to start. Carbon, thank you so much. And we are going to welcome you back after this one. See you later. And Itsu, now we are going to dive in very quickly into Queen Walkers against Space Station 4, the first golden ticket for this day. And here we go, it's Stars is live.
Yeah, Stars is live with intense army. At least he's having a golem, he has an ice hound, he's having a regular hound. It's like everything in there, and I cannot wait to see how much he's going to try to take down, because it seems like he's setting things up with Skelly Donut. At least there's no poison, so that's my guess. And yes, indeed, we're starting things off, but he's turning the clan castle, and we know Stars, normally, he's like one of the safest persons who's doing those Lalos. And This could be a big problem.
Not looking good.
This is a big problem.
Uh-oh. Yes, but I think he did something very clever. First he made a mistake, but then he realized, I'm not going to get the clan castle, and he just stopped using his last invisibility spell. And that's also, I think, like a high quality of an attacker to realize when something didn't work, when it's not worth to invest more. And he did that perfectly, but still he made a mistake, and we rarely see it from Stars, and maybe it already shows how the nerfs are playing a role in this one. But we have to see if he can get the intended value, because he definitely wants to get that multi-inferno with the lock launcher, and the Valkyrie is tanking the expo so the locks can do damage on the multi-inferno, and it's going down with the last lock, and the hero dive is still developing, Itsu.
Yeah, the hero dive is still ongoing. The expo on the left side is going down with those Yetis. But now with the clan castle soon coming out, this might be a big problem, especially Headhunters is a big problem for him. But the Lalu's already starting. He's trying to make sure that he's splitting up the damage. The Warden is following this top group, and with that, the Headhunters are going for that Queen. Maybe that's the best thing which could have happened to him. Queen ability is there, and the Lalu is still ongoing, but those Headhunters are now rerouting and going for this Royal Champion.
Yes, the Queen ability was maybe a little bit late here, and the Headhunter survived. But still, the fact that he started his Lalo early was very good, because he had like a symbiotic effect between his troops, because they were tanking for each other, the hero and the Lalo. And look at this, the Lalo going into the back end of the attack is looking so strong, so many loons. And is he really turning this around, Itsu, with that little value out of the Skelly Donut?
That, ladies and gentlemen, is why Stars is one of the best, if not the best Lalo checker in the world. Oh my goodness. Everyone thought already, okay, this attack is over, done, next. Let's hope that he's going for a good percentage. Otherwise, this is just going to be, yeah, a huge upset, or like, I don't even know. But yeah, Stars is just doing Stars things and just playing Lalo as he's normally playing Lalo. And what was that? That was just incredible. So good. And this is why pros are using this troop, this army composition, because it's just so good. Because you have so much impact. I mean, a lot of air attacks with, for example, Electro Dragons, you're placing everything in the beginning and you're relying on the troop. In this army composition, you're relying on the attacker, really deploying every single group of loons, and you have so much impact on the attack that you can even recover attacks where things in the beginning, as just for him, things are going that downhill that quickly. So, really nicely done. And this means now it's back to Space Station. And one thing as well as always, what does this do with the other team if they were watching?
All that melty cheese you crave with double the steak is back at Taco Bell. The double steak grilled cheese burrito.
Spies. Saboteurs. Assassins. We've all done terrible things on behalf of the rebellion. I couldn't face myself if I gave up now.
Star Wars Andor 3-episode premiere streaming September 21st.
Watching. They're already cheering. I mean, I guess they were already happy with like, okay, the clan cast is not going down. This should be our first defense. And then they're still getting 3-star. This is not the best feeling.
Yeah, so we have to see how they can answer to that one here as we go live into the first attack of Space Station in just a little bit. But I want to say something. At the start, it seemed like the nerfs really got to Stars, because he made a mistake that he usually doesn't do. He missed the invisibility spell placement, even though he looked 30 seconds onto the base. But then again, something that I said before became true. Once he was attacking, he just did what he always does. He was in the zone, you know, and he made no more mistakes in the attack and turned it around. So that really was a very nice way to turn it around. But here we go, first Black Mine caught by P. Castro. as he's starting his queen charge. So let's see, there should be more black mines, I think, in the Eagle artillery, because I guess that the Queen Walker space builders have maybe expected a queen charge here. So the battle of the defenses is already starting, Itsu.
Yeah, and especially now it's back to the traps maybe around the town hall. We have seen reported they were trying to catch those blimps towards the town hall because they knew that they are going to happen in a setup like this, where the town hall is that isolated on one side with the anti-3-star setup, and then the Eagle Dead on the other side. And well, this time the blimp was not defended, and things are looking kind of as usual with the uncommon approach with the Queen Judge Lalo from Space Station. And now the Mass Loon again from the top side, with then just in a second probably the Hound with the rest of the Loons from the 8 o'clock side.
Yes, it's looking good once again. And he hasn't used many spells yet. I think just 1 Rage, maybe 2 on the Queen, and 2 Poison spells on the CC, and the Queen is still going strong. So he has a lot of spells for the little Lalo and for his heroes. But will the scatter shot fall? 1 balloon, come on, 1 shot. Okay, the scatter shot goes down, and now it's all about the heroes and the little Lalo. But it's honestly, I think this went so well at the start, and I don't really think it can be stopped at this point. I'm going to call it early.
Okay, calling it early. Okay. So the second rotation of Loons and the Hound is coming in as we have predicted. The Queen is going in from this bottom side. Still having a lot of rages, you said. A lot of power still left for this back end. And it's mainly this multi-infernal tower which is still alive. But the thing again is, he has the Royal Champion. He can rage up the Royal Champ. That's exactly what he's doing. But he's missing the defending Royal Champion.
The freeze was so close, but barely didn't make it, and he freezes again, and look at that! The usage of the spells there perfectly after he missed the Royal Champion, and the power of the heroes, the power of the spells, the power of P. Castro with the perfect answer here, 3-star, and I'm very, very happy I didn't jinx this one, Itsu.
That would be unfortunate, but P. Castro is staying perfect. I mean, we have said it. In the beginning of the day, there were 3 players. I mean, and that's already incredible. Of stage 2 and stage 3 combined. Like, those 2 stages combined. And 2 out of, like, all of those people who were perfect, 3 were from Space Station. That's just incredible. And after the first match, unfortunately, Bernal failed. So at the moment, Leo and P. Castro are still perfect from Space Station. And from the Queen Walkers, Klaus is still perfect. Because I think it was Kazuma who got the 2nd star in the first match for them today. So he should be still good to go. And let's see if he can still make that work on this match in the all-deciding golden ticket match.
Absolutely, but of course we are also taking a look at the other matches happening in the lower bracket at the same time, because at some point they or some of those teams will also fight for a golden ticket. And in the match reported against Inquisition, we have 2 3-stars so far, so 1 of each team. And in the match Blind Esports against Marshall's Kiss is 3-2 for Blind Esports. But now let's focus on the next attack, as we have Gaku coming in with his attack with the golden ticket on the line, and he is coming in with the Queen Charge Dragon Riders, and he is using a Flame Flinger at the bottom side, and at some point I'm sure he's going to use the 3 Barbarians that he has to tank for the mortar there, to make sure that the mortar doesn't pick up the log launcher, I'm saying, the Flame Flinger. But first of all, the Queen has to get through the Town Hall soon.
Yeah, and this siege is always such an important supportive tool for those Queen Charge attackers, because you have the Queen Charge, which is always a really time-consuming thing in your attack, and during that time you give the time for the Flame Flinger to do all of the work. I mean, take a look at that. He's about to take down this entire bottom compartment, all of the scatter shot out of the way and everything. So it's such an important siege in the right hands. It's so powerful. At the same time now, take a look at that timing with the Clan Cast. I mean, there's no better timing whatsoever. No damage on the Queen, able to take down the Lava Hound, and the King at the same time doing his job as well.
Yeah, it's looking very strong. The Flame Flinger doing its job, even though the mortar got 1 little shot on the Flame Flinger. I mean, there's already so much value with this machine. But now the Queen, I think he wanted to wall break her inside from this Town Hall compartment, and now he's trying to do it from the other side, but it's not working. But okay, now he's coming in with the Lalo into this multi, so maybe he wants his queen to go into the Eagle Artillery, so he can send, not Lalo, sorry, Dragon Riders, of course, and so he can send his Royal Champion momentarily from the top side of the base. But what is happening, Itsu?
All of the healers are gone. There was a red mine form to defend this queen charge. All of the healers are gone from this queen. Now Gaku has to somehow try to save this with the Dragon Riders pushing through the back end. The queen ability is forced. The eagle is down by now. The question still remains, is this going to be enough power to get through the back end? With the rage, the air defense is going down quickly. The loons are taking the black mines. 40 seconds and a lot of spells are still left.
Yeah, the spells, I think the spells will come in clutch. I mean, I did a wrong call there for a second because I didn't see he had already deployed the Royal Champion. Royal Champion is in the mix with the Dragon Riders, but with the Rage spell, he should easily get into this back-end multi-Inferno. And I mean, that was such great base building there. The Queen really didn't have any more support from the healers, but he just made some great use of the invisibility spells and the free spells to keep her alive and get a little bit more value, and then he just overpowered the base. So this just means that it was a great space analyzing from him. So just very good job. And even though they tried to defend the charge, it wasn't enough to defend Gaku here. Very, very good job by him. No nerfs shown so far from Queen Walkers, and Space Station once again are in the position where they have to 3-star to break even with Queen Walkers.
Yeah, and I feel like the red mines were just too late. As you have said it, after that, there was no damage on the queen anymore. And I think in combination with that Flame Flinger, which was giving, having so much value at the bottom side, not only was able to take down all of the defense at the bottom side, but in addition, it created such a narrow pathing for the Dragon Riders through the core of the base that this base was already gone. So red mine found them a little bit too late, and the Flame Flinger together, just this combination. Really nice attack by Gaku, and as I said, next is Space Station again. They're in the second attack position. We have already talked about this many times. The second attack position for most teams is more fun, better to play with, I guess, because you always know you can react to the other team. Do we have to go for a quick 3-star? Do we have to go even for a 3-star? Maybe a 2-star high percentage? So let's take a look at what Leo does, because he is still one of the players in this tournament, which is still perfect.
Yes, and he's coming in with another Queen Charge, another Valkyrie to funnel here, and also going to finish it off in the back end with a Lalo attack here. And once again, charging into the Eagle Artillery. And I think this is something that we're seeing over and over again here from Space Station. Most of the time, they use their queens to charge into the Eagle Artillery compartment. So yeah, we're going. I mean, there's no more team that can react to that except for if they lose. So we're going to have to keep our eyes peeled if that is working well. But once again, he's sending in some coconut balloons to make sure he gets out all of the black mines. There goes the next one, even another coco loon. He has already found 2 seeking air mines, but he wants to be completely sure to not run into a bait. And yeah, he's just doing that perfectly at the moment. And there we go. Oh, 2 red mines. There could be a red mine farm, but we know that all red mines are needed to take down healers. So with 2 gone, I think Leo's queen should be safe, Itsu.
Yeah, that's right. And interesting enough, he's not bringing another wall break. I mean, I would have thought that maybe the queen went wrong. That could be the case as well, right? Maybe the queen going wrong, but there is the red mines because exactly this charge was predicted into the scatter. But, oh, the tornado trap. Look at that. Queen Walkers finding the bait. There's the rage. There's the invisibility spell. And this town now has to go down.
Yeah, and is it going down? The Yetis are on the town hall. Oh, yes, it goes down. Perfect usage, once again, of the invisibility spell. We've seen it before from Picastro in the first match, but still the question is, did he get enough value?
Hey Twitch, can you keep an eye on these heavily discounted subs for me? Please don't touch them. I'll be right back.
Sub.
Just kidding! It's freaking September! Come get these subs!
Great teams form around great leaders. Leaders that inspire those around them to step up and find that perfect moment to strike.
Stylish outside, savage inside. Lenovo Legion.
G'day. Next time you holiday, why go small when you can go Australia? Go ride with them, glide around icons, or relax out here. Whatever you do, don't Don't go small, go Australia.
I joined Uber One to be frugal, because I'm famous, but not famous. You know, I'm more like that guy from That Thing famous, so saving money is pretty clutch for me. Pretty clutch.
Value here. He's starting the Lalo early while the Town Hall Poison is still active. So we're going to have to wait and see. The Queen choosing to go to the center. I don't think that's the best choice. He would have preferred her to go into the scatter shot. But it's not looking bad here with the Royal Champion having no damage at her while she's coming in there from the left side. And once again, which is a revolving theme in this war, he has a lot of very valuable spells left. And he's using them once again perfectly. And I think he is looking good, Itsu.
Yeah, and this is just crazy. I mean, they have seen this exact plan, right? They have seen the exact plan. They have baited the Queen charge because they knew Space Station likes to charge into the Eagle, blimp the Town Hall, and then later on like keep going with the back-end heroes, right? They knew what is about to happen, but they were not able to stop it because, well, Leo just exactly knew that this Queen charge is somewhat risky and has invested so many of those loons to trigger those traps, and that's exactly what he did with triggering 2 of the red bombs. And as I've said earlier, you need the majority of those red mines hitting the healers, otherwise they're not going down. And with that, healers staying alive, helping to go through the clan castle troops. And with that, the back end was no problem again for the heroes because the Lalo has taken down the Town Hall, few X-bows, scatter shot, defending heroes, and then the back end was no problem anymore.
Yeah, this could have been an entirely different story if the Queen would have lost all those healers to the red mines, because as you said, she still had a lot of value after that, taking down the CC, also tanking the scatter shot for such a long time, and with the ability, he already also took out the enemy Royal Champion. So if she would have died early, this attack could have gone wrong. But as you said, he used 3 Coco Loons, and that's why I always want to say to all of those Queen Chargers out there, never be too greedy on the Coco Loons, because you've invested 70 troop spell on the healers. So what is 15 troop space for 3 Coco Balloons? And it was perfect that he sent a third one after finding 2 Seeking Air Mines here, and I think that's what, yeah, made this attack a 3-star and the overkill that it was. But now we have to concentrate on Kazuma because it is back again on for the Queen Walkers to get another 3-star and to keep on putting pressure onto Space Station Gaming. And in this time, once again, what a surprise, we see a Queen Charge Lalo, but interestingly, with the help of a lock launcher.
Yeah, and I just want to see what... Oh, the Wizard Towers of the lock launcher. No way, yes, the freeze or something, using the King ability instead, and he's trying to take down the second layer multi-inferno tower. But back to the point which I tried to make a couple of seconds ago, really looking forward to see the Queen Charge from Kazuma, because he is one of the reasons why I started with those lock launcher Queen Charges. He is just so insane with them, and I just love watching them. So kind of fanboy over here with those lock launcher charges, and take a look at that. Both Inferno Towers are taken down with just this one lock launcher. The King invested the top set for the Eagle, and this Queen now is going to be guaranteed going for the Town Hall as long as he's not letting her go down. And yes, the entire Lalo left to play, right? He has the Warden, he has the Royal Gem, he has the entire Lalo, and a ton of spells. This is just looking incredible.
Yeah, that was such a high value dive there from the King with the lock launcher. And it's I have to point out the invisibility spell he used on the gold storage that the Queen has just taken out, because he got the first multi-inferno with the locks, but then when the Yetis came out, they were actually targeting that gold storage, but he rerouted them with the use of the invisibility spell, so they would go to the other multi-inferno, and that's how they took that out. And guys, you always have to remember, a multi-inferno is not just a multi-inferno, it also means that there are mostly a lot of traps around it, and he doesn't have to face them during his attack now. Perfect use of the free spell to make sure the Queen doesn't get a lot of damage from this single target inferno. Beautiful Warden ability, and Itsu, this is once again looking good with 2 rage spells still at hand.
Oh my goodness, but he's not even investing any more spells into that Queen. He knows, okay, she's inside the Town of Poison. There is the single Inferno Tower on that Queen. She's not going to be happy with that. Instead, he's letting the healers go into the red mines, triggering all of them. and those loons are just going through. With the last rage, that should be no problem. The minions are everywhere, cleaning things up, even with the Valkyrie, and that should be another 3-star. What a beautiful attack this was. You have talked about it, the lock launcher with the invisibility spell to redirect those Yetis. We have seen that a couple of times today with the Yeti mites already. And those pros, they're so quick thinking. I mean, it looks always so easy. It looks like pretty obvious, you want to say. But all of those small pieces connected together, like we have seen earlier today with those redirected Yeti mites, which is a huge, well, there's this one action. Without that, the entire attack would fall. And for us as viewers, it looks so simple. It looks so obvious. It looks like, yeah, I can do that as well. And then when you're trying to copy it, you're wondering like, wait a second, this looked so easy in the stream. What are they doing different? Those are the small things, like the small invisibility spell, redirecting the troops to take down maybe one, maybe two more buildings. And this is the key to the success rate of those pro players. And this looks really impressive.
Absolutely. I think invisibility spells have been a very important factor so far in this match.
Yeah.
My FP Castro's attack was in the match against reported Gaming, but still in this match as well, also for Stars in the first one, because I said before, holding on to the last invisibility spell when he realized he couldn't get the clan castle was also very decisive, because he could then make his royal champion invisible that took out the scatter shot. So it's, as we said, it's the small details that make these pro players so good, and that is the reason why they are where they are in a match, fighting for a golden ticket to the world championship. And Queen Walker's going perfect so far, putting the pressure back on Space Station, and we have to see how well Marinal is handling it, as he is coming in with a hero dive Lalo this time. So no queen charge this time, but he wants this queen to get the town hall, I think, but not sure if he's going the right direction here.
I think the tunnel is supposed to go down with all of those sneaky goblins. The question though is if he's going to be able to do so, because of the storages on the far left. So he has to kind of work around that. He's trying to push his hero into the bottom compartment, let the tunnel live for a little bit, and then sneak those goblins in to take it down. He has overall 8 goblins with the invisibility spell, so that should work. But at the same time, maybe that queen is coming back. Maybe he's not even needing those goblins.
I think it's kind of a safety net here, because he thinks maybe this queen gets the town hall, maybe not. I have to see, it depends on the clan castle troops and so on. But yeah, I think he did very well bringing these goblins, because it doesn't seem like the queen will ever get to the town hall. She's already used the ability. Oh, and he's trying to route these sneaky goblins to the town hall, but only getting them to the storage. But the good thing is, okay, he made it work. Invisibility spell beautifully deployed, and it looks like town hall is just going down as the invisibility spell runs out. That was kind of close there. But Lalo is starting.
Yeah, Lalo is starting with the slammer from the far right side. The multi-inferno on the far right side, or the bottom side, is not going down just yet though. So we have to wait if there's something going to happen, which is taking that out. But there's still plenty of loons, 4 more loons to place. Now it's about this core. This core and the red mines could be a big problem for Marinal, because there is no vulnerability left, there is no heal spell. And as I was saying it, all of the red mines are going for those loons, and this is the deadly combination.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit risky there, in my opinion, to start off with the vulnerability, knowing that he has to go through the town hall compartment and through 2 multi-infernos, and the balloons are dying out, Itsu! This is not going to be enough! 2 multi-infernos left standing, and the warden on low health, there it goes down, and this is going to be actually the first slip-up, the first fail of the match, and it's now just about collecting a couple more percentage points, and then they have to hope for a fail from Queen Walkers here. Wow.
Yeah, and he's trying to collect as many percentage as possible, as it might be important later on. It's a 94% attack on this one. But just the Lalo, I think it was a bit too ambitious going through those 2 multi-inferno tower. And to me, as soon as there is something still standing behind the town hall, it is always so incredible risky to play the Laro through that, because we know by now a lot of, like, it's kind of, I wouldn't say 50-50, but the chances are insanely high that there's a tornado trap and a red mine farm behind the town hall. The chances are pretty high. So I feel like not having the warden ability for that anymore, I'm not really sure if I like the plan then, if you do not plan in, or if you do not have maybe heal spell for that. So something like that has to be in your plan, otherwise I am not happy about that. And this has fallen short, 94% overall. Now it's back to Queen Walkers because they might have now the advantage overall and keep being able to pressure Space Station to maybe first.
Wow, we're on Verizon now.
Because of their new plan, One Unlimited for iPhone. It comes with Apple One, that's Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and iCloud Plus.
All included on the network you want to be on.
Exactly. We could be up here all weekend listening to The Weekend.
While flinging Angry Birds.
Not you. You're lovely. Are you napping?
No, I'm watching my favorite show, starring me.
Get your Apple favorites all in one plan. Introducing One Unlimited for iPhone. And now get iPhone 14 Pro on us, only on Verizon.
First loss.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think a heal spell could have been a changing factor, a game changer for this attack. With 2 back-end multi-infernos and without the warden ability, I mean, he was planning to use it early. That would probably have been a safer way to go. But actually, when the Lalo started, I was like, okay, I think he's going to triple that. And the reason is Mari now has been so famous for his hero dive Lalo attacks, like 2-3 years ago, even on other town hall levels. He was so good with his strategy and so good when he played a big Lalo. So I was sure that he would triple it, but the traps were just good, the 2 multis were too much, and there we saw the fail. But now back to this attack. Klaus coming in with the Skelly Donut, and he's still trying to get the clan caster, and there it goes. Beautiful usage of the bat spell for the single target Inferno and the skeleton spell for the clan castle. And this time the Skelly Donut worked, and I mean, we've seen actually a Queen Walker's player stars still 3-star, even though the Skelly Donut failed. So I mean, what should happen now that it worked?
That's a good call. I mean, Klaus is crazy anyways, and with the golem diving in towards that eagle, it looks really solid overall with the headhunter now in there and trying to snipe the scatter. I think that's quite risky, isn't it? With possibly more Tesla over there, it could be a problem. But the Royal Champ trying to go in there. Now we have that blim with the Dragon Riders starting early, Maxi.
Yeah, he was so quick there with the deployment. The Warden, the Dragon Riders, the Loons, the Blimp, like everything happened within just 1 second or so. That was just insane, if you ask me. But then again, we know that Klaus is the only player in Queen Walkers that is still perfect. A perfect hit rate through stages 2 and 3 and also today. So it would actually be the first fail for him in a while. And so far, I think it's looking good. But still, as you said before, there are always traps behind the Town Hall. And that's where his Dragon Riders and Loons are passing through now. And it seems like he doesn't have that much left. Just 5 balloons, but I mean, 2 freeze spells, 1 haste spell. Can he get through this back end? That is the question now.
Yeah, it's really tricky. I feel like with Klaus attacks, there's always so many spells on the back end. But this time around, though, there's not, and this haste is not really catching those loons. The slammer. Oh, the slammer is going, the scatter is going down. And this archer tower now is able to take down everything. And this queen, he has 40 seconds. This queen should be able to, like, finish things off. No?
Oh, yes. Got the unicorn, that's true. Oh, wow. This got so close, but yeah, as you said, he's got the time and he is getting it done. It got awfully close, and it shows that Queen Walkers can actually slip up with good trap placement and with maybe just a slight mistake there. I mean, the Skelly Donut, I said at the start, it worked, but still the attack got closer than Stars' attack. So the trap placement against this might have been a little bit better, but I mean, in the end, Klaus got the job done for his team. Queen Walkers still perfect, and Space Station now, there's only one way, you know. The only way is to triple and hope that Queen Walkers have or make a little mistake there, and I think it is just Utah left for Queen Walkers, right?
Yeah, and I think so far from the stage 2 and stage 3, Utah unfortunately so far had the worst hit rate out of all the Queen Walker guys, so maybe there is some hope for Space Station to still go for that with that in mind. But first off, they have to 3-star on their own. I mean, yes, it's nice to hope for a defense, but as long as you don't on your own keep 3-starring, there is, even with the good defense, no chance of staying inside this match, especially because they have already gotten this 2-star one. So they're up next. We have Benal in. Yes, failed the attack before. Question though is, can he recover and get this next attack to 3-star to keep Space Station inside this match, inside this golden ticket match?
Yeah, and that's already a lot of damage on this. It's the Queen. Okay, just the Queen, and there we go. Okay, oh, the Skellies. Oh, he will lose a healer, I think. Air defense starting to shoot. The Queen also is very low on health. But the Rage, okay, the healers got into the Rage just in time, and he is keeping his Queen alive. I mean, it looked a little bit shaky, and we remember Bernal had a fail in the other wall, an 85% 2-star on a box space, and he also, in the last attack, he made a couple of mistakes that I don't expect from him usually, because he used a Rage spell too late and lost the Queen ability in his other attack. But this time everything is fine. He kept the Queen alive without having to go through ability, and now it's about the second part of the attack where the log launcher comes in and the King from the 3 o'clock side. But it seems like the King wasn't properly funneled there. CC coming out, Itsu, what's happening?
Is the Queen... The Queen is down! Yes! No way, I was about to say, with like the because this is the Queen Killer Clan Castle. It is the 2 Rocket Loons and Super Minions. That's the Clan Castle, which has killed more Queens than any other Clan Castle. The King funnel was correct. He was trying to get the Royal Champ for the Eagle, but with the Queen going down, this attack cannot 3-star anymore, I feel like. With, yes, the Skelly Donut falling short, that's one thing. Up. But the Eagle stays up, the Clan Castle stays up, like the Super Minions. This is the defense Queen Walkers were looking for. This is the match-deciding defense, I think, because Benal is not going to get a lot of percentage. And as long as Utah is getting 2 stars, Queen Walkers are going to get the golden ticket, and Queen Walkers are going to be yet again in the Clash of Clans World's final event.
Yes, and who would have thought that? Like, I mean, we said it at the start, but just remember a couple of weeks ago, everyone was like, where is Queen Walkers? We have seen them in every World Championship. They are usually so consistent, but they have not had the best year so far until at least like June or so. And then in June, like, they started playing better and better, showing better and better performances, and here they are finally with their chance of getting to the World Championship with a 2-star. So Yuta just needs a 2-star. And talking about Yuta, you just said he has the worst hit rate in Queen Walkers, but I mean, guys, we're talking about the Queen Walkers. The worst hit rate in this team means he's got a 75% hit rate, which is still absolutely crazy. And that is the hit rate for 3 stars. In this case, he just needs a 2-star now. So yeah, there is not a lot that can happen, but there are things that can happen. So we're not calling it too early, but we're making sure you guys know Yuta just needs a 2-star to secure a golden ticket for the Queen Walkers in this next attack, Itsu. And why do you think this Queen charge failed from Bernal?
I mean, because he lost the Queen in her ability. I think that's just the main thing. I think
mean,
otherwise the plan looked solid. Yeah, I mean, just the problem is there's one point in your attack where you have to kind of structure your attack that you do not have to do too much multitasking when the Clan Castle is coming out. And that's typically either you have a lot of time before you're planning or your spotter is calling it out. So like, okay, one more step for the Queen and the Clan Castle is coming out. This should not be the time while he is placing the lock launcher, thinking about the Royal Champion and looking at the King because of the funneling. So I feel like this was the big problem for him in this attack, the multitasking at the same time as the Clan Castle came out. And I think at this point sometimes it is that some players think like, oh, I'm still fine, I got this, I mean, all good. But that should be typically the time where they say, okay, damn, I messed up, just use the Queen ability, just go the safe way. he did not. And with that, he cost the 3-star and maybe cost even Space Station the chance of getting to the Clash of Clans Worlds Finals. But now it's back to Utah. 2 stars. And he is getting his team the golden ticket. And that would be, I think, Queenwalkers kind of is the team in the community which most people are looking forward to see them back in Helsinki. But I'm sorry, Max, keep going.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, we still have to say, I mean, Space Station, if they lose, they still have the chance. I mean, they would just move to the lower bracket because this is a double elimination. So Space Station will still have a chance for the golden ticket. But of course, they were so close, or they still are so close, that they would have wanted to secure it right now. But I mean, Utah needs a 2-star, and of course he's coming in from the opposite side of the Town Hall with his Queen charge. I mean, why just charge the Town Hall or safe flimp the Town Hall when you can just go for a risky attack from the opposite side of the base? But yeah, we have to wait and see, but at least he's making it exciting for us because there is still a chance for this not to become a 2-star. And now he's sending in the King. He's most likely going to send in the Royal Champion. So he is relying on his Lalo to get into the Town Hall and to take it down for the 2nd star.
I think the reason why he's doing that, though, is... Oh, Queen ability is used. Queen is not dying her ability. Is because of the sweepers. Both sweepers are pointing away from the Town Hall, which makes it typically, even with the tornado...
All that melty cheese you crave with double the steak is back at Taco Bell. The double steak grilled cheese burrito.
Hey, you know what I say to all the other titans of tech who are making such a fuss over finally launching themselves into space? Welcome to the club. I've been putting people into spaces for years. Millions of people into millions of spaces. And that must be why Apartments.com is the center of the rental universe. Tippy, tippy toe, tippy, tippy toe. That's a big turkey. Wait a minute. There's one going up now. How many of these guys are there? Apartments.com, the place to find a place.
Tornado trap, quite a safe call to take it down, and that's exactly what he's going for. Yes, the Town Hall's going down. Is it going to be a 3-star? Not really likely because of the Warden taking down the Queen. And there's the 2nd star, and that's what he was going for.
We've got the
Queenwalker 70 is the first golden ticket winner. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations from my side there. Sorry for interrupting. I was just so hyped because it just happened. It just happened. We really saw the first team getting it, and it is Queenwalkers. Wow, one of the fan favorites, as you said. So congratulations to them, and also congratulations to Utah. He made it exciting, but he made it work, and that's the most important thing at this stage. He has always a high responsibility as the last attacker for his team, but he really showed that he is the right person to do it because, he didn't struggle to get the 2-star. He had a lot of spells left. He used the Warden in the perfect timing. He had his eyes on the Town Hall, and that just shows the level of professionalism that these players have, that he is still has the courage to come in from the opposite side of the base, but then make it work. So congratulations to Utah, congratulations to Queenwalkers, and I also like to say congratulations to all of us, because we are going to be able to witness Queenwalkers in the World Finals in Helsinki, and this is going to be just awesome, Mitsu. Wow.
Yeah, it's always fun to watch them with their crazy plans, and in the end, yes, it's really unfortunate with the last attackers. Sometimes have to go for those safe 2-stars, which obviously go for the hit right then. But I think in this case, that's all what he had to do. He just charged on the other side, which to us looked risky, but I feel like it was a really safe approach because he just charged the other side. He didn't even had a layer, or he didn't even had a plan to keep his Queen further alive. There was no plan of wall breaking the Queen further into the base. There was no jump spell whatsoever. This was purely just get percentage, take down the clan castle, get more percentage with the King, and then just send in the Lalo to the Town Hall. Both sweepers pointing away from that. It's going to be a super safe 2-star. And that's all what he had to do to get this win in. But I think there's one more attack now for a space station, if I remember correctly. Let's see what they're what they're going in. Because as you said it, Space Station is not out. They have a second chance in this tournament still to get the golden ticket. And for that, they want to keep the momentum high. And it is Selenio going in with another Queen Charge Lalo. But this time, the lock launcher in the mix as well.
Yes, really their favorite strategy. And also I want to point something out. The choice of the clan caster was actually what made this fail of Space Station happen from Bernal, and what gave Queen Walkers definitely chance here to oh, the king is going the wrong way. Nice use of the invisibility spell. What gave Queen Walkers the chance here to secure the golden ticket with the last attack. And in my opinion, we've seen so many Queen charges from Space Station that an opposing team could think about only using this type of clan castle, because you said it is the Queen charge killer, this clan castle. But here in this case, we see the Hound in combination with the Headhunters once again, but we're going to have to wait and see until later what the other teams will bring against Space Station trying to defend them. And it's so just real quick as this attack is going in, we also have, of course, the other matches, the eyes on the other matches, and we will tell you after this attack how they are going in the lower bracket.
Yep, that's right. Well, he's trying to keep his queen alive, but there's so much damage on this queen. There's now the lock launcher coming in to open up all of the walls and get this queen in behind of the town hall. There's one more loon. There, you can see they have the respect from the red mines, and there's another red mine coming up. So the red mine farmers really got into the head of the Space Station players. But there's now the single phone tower. There's again this multitasking I was talking about. The queen ability is getting used.
Yes, and the healers are blown away by the sweeper, so the queen is very low on health, and she's in the single. Oh, thank God he used the rage and the freeze spell there perfectly. So that was great multitasking actually by Selenio, but still a lot of base standing on the right side. Maybe Royal Champion ability now. Double giant bomb. Royal Champion has to take out the multi-inferno. There it goes, and he has 5 balloons. Can he get through the back end with just 5 balloons?
Yeah, so for the exposed tank, the queen in the Town of Poison is not having a great time, I think that's fair to say, but this queen surviving because of the troops are taking down the expo, and with that, their defense is gone, and 30 seconds, I think that should be enough, Maxi.
Yes, you're absolutely right. That will be enough here, Selenio. What a great job keeping the queen alive and yeah, getting another 3-star. So I think it's even though it didn't matter for this war anymore and Queen Walkers got the victory anyways, it is still good for the morale and for the momentum going into the lower bracket for them, where they still have the chance in their next match to get the golden ticket. So actually 2 chances because they won their first match. And yeah, I'm also looking at the other wars here, and it looks like Reported Gaming Inquisition is so close. Reported Gaming was perfect until the very last attack, and then they had a fail, but the fail was just 1% higher than the 2-star that Inquisition got before. So even though Inquisition hasn't done their last attack, Reported Gaming are going to be the winners in this one. And this is going to be the opponent for Space Station later on. So it's going to be Reported against Space Station. The other match, we still have to wait and see. But guys, we also have to keep in mind that the next match will also decide a golden ticket. Because it's going to be SG Tristella and GS fighting it off for the next one. So one of those 2 teams will get the next golden ticket.
Yeah, that's right. And I think Blind Esports versus Marshall's Kids is ready as well. I think you have not said it right. With the result over there, it's 14-13. So Marshall's Kids is out. They are out of this. They have no chance of coming back. They have lost both of their matches. And Blind Esports are, yet again, I think they're the team with the biggest lower bracket buff, which I have seen this year so far. In the Swiss stage, there's the exact same thing. Went straight up 0-2 into the lowest bracket possible, and then did the reverse sweep. I remember last year as well, the same thing happened with Aphelion. I mean, they dropped into the lower bracket really early and then made it nearly all of the way in the lower bracket. So this team really is shining in the lower bracket, so it is not going to be an easy opponent at all. And I think we have the graphic ready for the brackets. Let's dive in and take a look at how this is going to look like. So we have reported not versus Space Station, so there's no rematch. Instead, oh my goodness. Blind Esports versus Space Station, the lower bracket.
No.
Oh my lord. Okay, this is going to be insane. This is a match as well, by the way, which we are going to witness later on. But our next match, Maxi, is going to be GS versus SG to Stella. And the winner is going to get another golden ticket. The loser is going to have a second chance versus Reported Gaming then for another golden ticket.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, you're right. I'm sorry about the mistake there, because of course it makes perfect sense that the teams are switched. Otherwise, Space Station and Reported Gaming would have played again, and they already played in the first round. So of course the brackets are switched now in the lower bracket, and that's a very interesting match because you're talking about Blind Esports, and I wanted to point out they started with a 12-star performance against GS, so not a very high result there. But now they were just one building short of the perfect war. Somehow out of nowhere they get 14 stars with a 99% fail, and that is somehow the magic of the lower bracket for Blind Esports. When they are back with their backs against the wall, they tend to perform best. So it's going to be very interesting if that will also be the case against Space Station later on. And just imagine if Blind Esports would win and Space Station wouldn't get the golden ticket that everyone was expecting from them. That would just be mind-blowing. So very, very hyped about this one later on already. But as you said it, now we're going to dive into the second match of the upper bracket, the GS versus SG Tristella match. And that would be the next golden ticket. And that is just insane, especially since GS started with a perfect war. So very excited how high the stats can be in this one.
Yeah, and I think we can welcome Corbin already back. Well, I want to make one more point about the lower bracket about Blind Esports. So in the Swiss stage, okay, they went straight to 0-2. And then in the lower bracket, they had 15, 14, 14 stars. So in the I don't know what is happening with.
Wow, we're on Verizon now.
Because of their new plan, One Unlimited for iPhone. It comes with Apple One. That's Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and iCloud Plus.
All included on the network you want to be on.
Exactly. We could be up here all weekend listening to The Weekend.
While flinging Angry Birds.
Not you. You're lovely. Are you napping?
No, I'm watching my favorite show, starring me.
Get your Apple favorites all in one plan. Introducing One Unlimited for iPhone. And now get iPhone 14 Pro on us, only on Verizon.
Hey, you know what I say to all the other titans of tech who are making such a fuss over finally launching themselves into space? Welcome to the club. I've been putting people into spaces for years. Millions of people into millions of spaces. And that must be why Apartments.com is the center of the rental universe. Tippy, tippy toe, tippy, tippy toe. That's a big turkey. Wait a minute. There's one going up now. How many of these guys are there? Apartments.com, the place to find a place.
With this team as soon as they're reaching the lower bracket. But this is just incredible. This is what I just looked up, and Corbin, I'm sorry. Welcome back. How did you enjoy this match?
Oh, it was absolutely insane. The attacks just going back and forth, and Queen Walkers coming away with getting that first golden ticket. Congratulations to them. They can take it easy now and relax, right? That's the beautiful thing. But now the rest of these teams have the pressure put on them. And of course, Space Station, they're now down in the lower bracket. And to think that they've won all their matches 60-0 through the ladder stages, winning the double elimination in stage 2, then the Swiss stage, never losing, and then you come to this point, and if you lose 2 matches at the wrong time, you're out, you're eliminated, because Queen Walkers, they've lost at least 2 matches. They've lost the Space Station, the ladder, they've lost also the double eliminate, like they've lost here and there, but this is not the time for Space Station to lose 2 in a row. You do it and you are out and eliminated. Wow, we've got a handful of matches, and every single match to come, we have 3 more to come here, will be for golden tickets, and we're going to get to watch them all live here on this stream. Cannot wait for them. But Itsu, on this next match with GS and SG Chistella, who do you think has the edge? Who do you think maybe is you're going to be picking in this one? Is there one that you got your eye on?
I'm not sure if I want to pick one, because I feel like so far I'm not really that nice to the teams which I'm picking, because I picked Space Station in the upper bracket, I picked Blind Esports in the upper bracket. Well,
Okay.
I mean, at this point at least, I cannot jinx them any further because they're now facing each other, so one of those have to get a golden ticket.
Yep.
But yeah, I think GS, SG Tessella both looked really, really strong. I think for GS, the key is for them to get one of their good matches, I want to say, because for them, I feel like it was kind of 50-50. Like, either they're looking unstoppable or they're looking kind of shaky. So I feel like as long as they're getting a good match, they're looking really solid in this match. SG Tessella so far felt like really more consistent, but I think at least a little bit lower on the star count. This was my first impression. But Maxi, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, I think it's actually a 50-50, as you said. I mean, if I would have to decide, I would say GS. I think even though that SG Tristella are more consistent, I feel like GS are more consistent. They had also a very good defense, and their offense, I mean, you're right that they didn't put up like perfect wars left and right all the time, but still I think they didn't have too low scores, at least not too many times. So I don't know, and they have also some very well-known players like Ren or Ryuda. We've seen them in the esports scene for a long time now. So it's going to be a very, very close one for sure. But I also want to take a very quick look at the prize pool once again, if maybe we could put that up, because we have just had the first 2 teams being eliminated for the day. Inquisition and Marshall's Kiss, and so they are in 11th and 12th place. So congratulations to them as well, and thanks to them for showing some incredibly great wars. And they finished with a $20,000, so that is already very, very nice. And the other teams have at least $30,000. So this win just for Reported Gaming and Blind Esports got them $10,000 more than they originally had. So you see how much is on the line in every single of those wars, and in every single one of those attacks that these players have to perform under the pressure here. So yeah, it is really unimaginable how you feel, and you know how you have to focus and how you have to calm yourself down. So we tend to forget that, especially since often we don't see the players, and we right now we don't have the player cameras right now, so we don't see their reactions. But you just have to imagine how much pressure falls off of them after an attack worked well and just went as intended. So yeah, just wanted to point that out once more. But yeah, now let's get back to the match at hand, to GS against SG Tristella.
Yes, absolutely incredible to see that they're taking home so much there. And if you make it to the World Finals, you're guaranteed to be $40,000 there in the top 8. But between this match, GS and SG Justella, I'm going to go solely off of the momentum that GS just had a perfect war. And I think they're going to take that going into this one, and they're going to do really well. I think they may be the second team to get a golden ticket from the upper bracket. I originally was picking Marshall's Kiss, but, well, they lost both their matches, and unfortunately, they have been eliminated. And if you guys are just joining, we can bring up the bracket again to show you guys who's gotten that very first golden ticket, which was, of course, the Queen Walkers, defeating Space Station in the upper bracket, and they are moving on to the World Finals in Helsinki, Finland, which is like, what, 2 weeks away? It's so close. And like and the teams that make it here don't have much time to prepare, right? They've probably been preparing a little bit, thinking hopefully they gotta say, okay, they make it, and then they have to be ready, because the other teams, especially we have X team, they've been golden ticket for such a long time now, that I guess that kind of leads me into my next question for the both of you, is because you both have the experience of qualifying first right, with a golden ticket, which means there was a long time period in between your golden ticket qualification and the World Finals. When do you start building bases? Because you can't build bases because it's going to change with the tech metas. Do you build a base 2 months out, 1 month out? Take us through that process, Itsu.
Well, I think we have started, what was it? Maybe like 1 month before the event, something like that. So it was somewhat early, I guess. At the same time now for this year's, you have to remember that the players have to travel to Helsinki. There's probably going to be like a media week or something before, because it's going to be an in-person event. If I remember back then, with the live events, we had media days where we were doing team shots, player shots, different media interactions for
interviews,
like intros and everything, interviews, you say it. So I think this would take some time as well. So I guess the teams have after this today, maybe roughly 1 week, maybe a little bit more to prepare, which is not a lot of time if you consider that, especially with building all of those bases. So I think with us, I think back then was around about this 1 month. I don't know if you have it different in mind, Maxi, but I think that's what I remember.
Yeah, I think you remember correctly, it's funny because I actually have not just the experience of qualifying first. From last year, I also have the experience of qualifying last, because we qualified last year in the last chance qualifier. So I don't remember the exact dates, but I think it was just a couple of weeks then until the World Championship. Obviously, we didn't have to, or we weren't allowed to travel since it was not an offline event, but still 2 weeks or maybe even 3 weeks is not a lot of time if you have just prepared for the last chance qualifier. And all of those teams here today, they have just prepared for this event. So they have pretty much burned all of their best bases in this one, so they have to pretty much start from scratch. I mean, their offense is probably on point because they have been grinding to get here and playing all those wars and practicing. But their defense, I mean, that's going to be stressful for their base builders. They have to build a complete set of bases, like 20, 25 bases at least, to bring to Helsinki with them. And that's going to be very stressful. But on the other hand, if you qualify first, like we did in 2019, and like X Team Esports did this year, I think it is very hard to find the right time when the pressure is enough to start really getting back in, because you actually have a lot of low time, like time in between where you are like, okay, so much time, we can just relax, lay back, and nothing is happening. And also the meta might shift. There might be updates in the game. There might be new strategies coming up, like Space Station with their weird Queen Charge Lalo approaches. All of that stuff you have to keep in mind when you're building bases. And then if X Team Esports would have started in March or April to start bases, maybe they couldn't make any use of them anymore right now. So it is very tough, and I think the teams that qualified earlier probably started at the beginning of like August, something like that, or mid-August to prepare. But it's definitely, in my opinion, going to be harder for the teams making it today. But still, they have the offensive routine, or the offense routine, and they have the momentum. So maybe you can find a little advantage in there as well. Not sure.
You definitely could find the advantage in there as well. Have a little bit of extra time, but like you said, if you start planning too much in advance, things can change indeed. But talking about defenses, because that's usually never gets the
clean electrolytes on a mission to get you up and moving. Noon hydration.
You're saving hundreds with the Home Alone bundle from Progressive, but there's no saving that casserole.
I just love that word bundle. It's so fun. So you have two things coming together.
I'm so glad you want to save money. Rodney, set up a bundle for John here.
Oh, great. Is it still cool if I catch a ride home with you?
I never said it was.
Technically, you didn't say it wasn't.
It's minions.
Yeah.
Highlight that it deserves, because it's always offense and attacks and strategies of how you take down bases. perfect
The whole point is you
wars
try to
all
get
the
the value
time.
that super
And it's when
wizards
those
can't get,
defenses that
right?
stop your opponent that
Where they can like
shine
reach farther.
the best
like
for your team. But
the super minion
the
works
question
really
is,
well when it's like super
building a
spread out.
base. So you guys
sections.
have been part of helping
How many
base
yo-yos
building,
you know?
helping base
There's
testing,
multiple, right?
and
There's 5.
how long would you say it goes in from a base? Like you sit down right now, you think, I mean, obviously you haven't built maybe in a while, but let's say for Stefan and Tribe Gaming, how long do you think it would take to build a base right now? And then it would be completely done. It's been tested. It's ready to go for the World Finals. How long would you, if you had to take a guess, how long do you think that process would be?
I tried to remember. I had an interview with Boom recently where we had exactly this question. He said building the base actually for the top tier base builders doesn't even take that long. What is more the important thing is then the base testing, because the traps are most of the time the key thing, okay? Like the base itself, like if you copy straight up the base, it's not worth it that much. It's more about the traps. And then again, the traps are most of the time trying to defend certain strategies, whatever the opponent uses. So if like a normal Clash player is copying a pro base, they might just wreck it with Electro Dragons because, well, the base was not supposed to defend that strategy. But coming back to the point with the time, I think what he said was like half an hour for like just building the base. So it's super quick for some of those because they have already in their head what they want to build and everything. But then just with the testing, it's up to then maybe 3 hours. So again, it's like sometimes time is like different with like sometimes you need to adapt more, sometimes less. But I think that was what Boom had said back then in the interview. So 3 hours for building the base, and then like 2.5 hours or something like that for testing and tweaking.
Or 30 minutes for building the base, and then a couple hours to test.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I have in my head. I think Maxi can maybe confirm or not confirm, depending on his last experience.
I absolutely agree. And the thing is, these 2.5 or 3 hours for testing and tweaking, they usually don't happen right after that, because you rely on your teammates to have the time. I mean, for example, maybe one base builder builds a base in the morning after his breakfast, and then he sends out the message, I have a base or a couple of bases to test, and then you have to have at least 2 or 3 players looking at the base, maybe sending some plan ideas that others can then test. And all this process, it can take a couple of weeks, not just days, a couple of weeks, because maybe you have one player who's very good with air-based dragon attacks like Electro Dragons and Hydra or so on, so he can test it. But then there's another one who comes in with the Queen Charge Hybrid and he's crushing the base. So you have to change the traps once again, or maybe even change something in the base. Then it has a cooldown. Then you have to get a Lalo player attack it, and so on. So this process is extremely time-consuming, and it's always been very stressful. So I'm not envying the teams that qualify today for the next 1.5 weeks until the World Championship.
Yeah, I can only imagine what goes into the testing, and the biggest thing that would be like so annoying for me is, we need to make a change. Got to move the wall a little bit this way. You got to wait 24 hours. You have to wait so long in order to be able to test it again in another friendly challenge. That's the big thing that makes it a lot harder. And you can't have like, just move something and able to then test it right away. No, that's not the case. But when you're going into the testing, you've talked about how long it takes for building and how much times it takes for testing. But what goes into deciding what base to use? Is it really you build the bases for your opponents? Obviously, going to the Worlds, you may know your opponent going into ahead of time, but like, are you really putting all your eggs in the basket to say, maybe we're going up against this one team, they are always a hybrid attacker, we want to try to stop hybrid for every one of our bases? Or are you trying to like go with their most popular ones? Or I mean, I'm not a pro player, so I have no idea what it's like. I'm kind of asking as a viewer, just interested in that process. But maybe we'll get into feedback on that a little bit later. And Max, you could talk a little bit, because we're going to be saying goodbye. We're just getting word because next match is getting ready. So Itsu, I'll be sure to get your answer to that at a later point. So we'll see him in the next match after this. But yeah, going back to that, Maxi, did you want to answer that question that I was asking?
Yeah, first I was about to make a little fun of Itsu for never testing bases, which obviously is not true. It's just a joke. But I'm not going to say anything like that anymore, since he's not here to defend himself. So I will defend him. He tested way more than me. So just funny business here, no. But to be honest, like the base testing, after you did the base testing, you definitely decide which bases to use based on the teams you face. I mean, what else? You have, I mean, in the pro scene, the teams know each other. But even if you don't know a team well, you're going to scout it. You're just going to watch every single war out there, every YouTube video, every Twitch stream, everything that you can find, figure out how they approach bases, what their most used strategies are, and then you decide which bases defended those strategies well. And a lot of time, this takes a lot of time, like watching all the videos, collecting the stats, making your thoughts about it, and trying to predict what player will attack what base, maybe inviting a player to use a certain strategy and then bait it. And like there's a lot of, you know, of usage of your mind going into this. But yeah, we're going to have to wait and see, because the teams right now only had a little bit of time to prepare for themselves. SG Tristella and GS, they had no idea that they were playing each other in the second round for the golden ticket. So let's see if they chose the right bases against each other, as Ren is coming in with the first attack for GS, facing SG Tristella. Carbon for the second golden ticket of today.
Ooh, the second golden ticket indeed, with the Zap Lalo taking out this Expo, the Inferno Tower as well, but finding a Tesla farm right off the bat to the right side. Let's see if this queen continues to make her way left. That Tesla farm could pull this queen to the right side, could be a problem. He's playing for his heroes to make their way all the way into the middle, but he does have a log launcher that he's not utilizing yet. So yep, there's invisibility to make sure the queen goes left.
But is she maybe going back now?
Uh-oh, uh-oh,
yeah.
Uh-oh.
He doesn't have another invis.
Oh no. Wow, okay.
Oh, he's sending the wall wrecker. I mean, I think he's still looking good. There's not too much damage on this wall wrecker. If it can take out the ground targeting Expo there in time.
Oh, no!
The tornado! No way!
Oh, the tornado trap.
But the wall wrecker, unlike the other siege machines, has a lot of HP. So we can see it is still like 3/4 full health. And it seems like Ren should be good here. And the queen also is still going strong. I mean, this, I don't even think it's looking bad at this point.
Wall wrecker does make it through the last wall right by the town hall. Now going to have sneaky goblins come out. And he does grab the Inferno Tower with his RC on the final shot.
Yes.
So then now he can come in with a Lalo to the top side with the Warden. Drops the haste. Oh, there's no Warden there yet. He's waiting. The town's been secured. As now the Warden's coming off to the right
the
side.
red mines.
Oh. He poisons the headhunters, but he's trying to make his way around.
I mean, there's not much left standing here, except the 2 scatter shots that pose a threat, but he uses the Warden ability nicely. Now has 2 free spell left, Carbon Fin. I don't think there is a chance that there are enough traps to stop this big group or groups of balloons that Ren still has here. And it looks like he found the exact right approach for this base, and he is crushing it. There's a big loon parade going on here, Carbon Fin. Wow, what a start.
Wow, look at that. It wasn't looking good, and then it was looking good, and then it's going back and forth. Beautiful job there. Ren coming in with the 3 stars for GS. Drops the freeze down south. Just needs to grab these final buildings. And it is a 3-star indeed to start it off. Well done. And the pressure is mounting. This is the match for a golden ticket. We've already seen Queen Walkers get a golden ticket. They defeated Space Station in the match before this. And now we are in the second match in the upper bracket. We'll see 2 more wars after this, which both have golden tickets on the line down in the lower bracket. So to start off with the 3-star is the perfect start for GS here in this match.
Yeah, and Queen Walkers showed that before. They started strong with the 3-star, and they kept on 3-starring until the very end. And that put enough pressure onto a team like Space Station to get them to fail. I mean, we never know if it was the nerfs or maybe just a moment of having the wrong focus during the attack. Whatever it was, it worked for Queen Walkers to start off strong and put the pressure on Space Station. That is exactly what GS did right there. And now we have to wait and see how Troya from SG Tristella.
One day, you might realize it's time to switch things up.
Thank you.
When your sisters come to town and you say,
It's on me.
crushed it, little bro. When your friends come over to watch the game. No, when you go to the game. Total power move. When you realize your vacation days won't use themselves and it's time for an out of office. Way out. When you're with Amex, it's never a question of if you'll make it happen. It's when.
reacts, and interestingly we see the anti 3-star bases, so it seems this is also going to be a war of anti 3-star. Does he have the right CC there? Oh my god.
Oh no,
I think he had the wrong CC troops. I think this was supposed to be a safe blimp.
Yeah, he didn't have sneakies in there. Oh no, oh no.
Ooh, does he get the tunnel? Wow, barely.
Wow. He had to react, like he had to adapt on the fly and use 2 extra spells. Well, those 2 spells make a difference in this attack here. But at least he does secure the town hall as the dragons are coming down to move their way in with an early ward in the Eternal Tome as his queen burns her ability right now.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. It seems like having the wrong CC caught him off guard here as well. He seemed to be a little distracted by that. Also losing the queen ability early, but now she is being tanked and getting healed up by the unicorn, but there's still a lot of base that he has to push through if he wants to turn this into a 3-star. Also a lot of spells still left, Finn, and in the last war we've seen actually how strong it can be in an attack if you have some spells left for the back end, and he has the king ability, he has the royal champion still to deploy. But still a lot of base as well. A scattershot compartment, 2 multi-infernos, a defending royal champion. So this is going to be very close, I think.
Yeah, there is a lot left here. The RC is going to path their way into the multi-target inferno because the queen can't reach that. But he does pull out some rocket loons, which they actually target onto the Lassie, not the RC right there, but forces the freeze. Drops a rage, still getting... Oh, didn't take out that rocket loon initially, but that RC's taking a massive amount of damage from that rocket loon.
But yeah, now the rage comes in clutch as the RC takes out the warden. And now, come on, use the ability. Oh no, he doesn't get the air defense with the ability, but he still has the queen on the outside going strong. And if there's not a big amount of skelly trapped, he will get it. No way.
No way. He still gets it with the wrong clan castle. We definitely knew instantly he didn't have the sneaky goblins inside of his CC, but he still does it. So pretty much didn't need that extra invis and freeze for his troops because he utilized it onto the clan castle. Troya for SG Tristella. What an attack to save it and turn it into a 3-star to answer this one. Now it's all tied up 3-3.
Yeah, and that was a great job by him. Also, like Space Station did before with the first attack, you know, handling the pressure well, you know, still being on top of things, and showing GS that they are not impressed, you know. Sometimes it can be like, if you 3-star and the other team fails, you're like, they got scared because we 3-starred and they will keep on failing. And I actually, when I used to play, I said that to my teammates, not because I was really believing it, but to just get the right mindset, you know. You want to feel good, feel strong, feel confident, and you want to see a weakness in your opponent because it shows your strength in base building, in base testing, you know, in all of the work you put in before, you see it pay off. And but the teams so far are not giving any room to that so far because they are both starting very strong. But we have to see how they keep on going. And I thought that SG Tristella was here with the anti-2-star bases, but Carvin, there we go. Next one is a anti-3-star base, so it's a wild mix of bases apparently here that SG Tristella bring to the table.
Yeah, bring in a mix here because a lot of times you guys talked about bringing one set of bases to force every single one of the players to have to hit that same design. Iridick's coming in with this Queen Charge Lalo, and we're seeing the Warden and RC and King come all together to move into the Eagle Artillery section, as we have the Town Hall to the top side, which is gonna, if he takes out this bottom side with a log launcher now used down here, the Queen can then move her way towards the top Town Hall.
Yes, and Itsu talked about before how he likes the approach with the Queen Charge and the log launcher that he always used to see from Kazuma, actually. But in this case, it is a very similar attack from Ryuda. And it seems like he's getting the value, also investing the Warden here. So unlike Kazuma earlier, he used the Warden for the hero dive with the log launcher, and funneling the Queen into the Town Hall seems to be working out very well. And look at these Yetis still going strong and taking out this single Inferno, and there is barely anything left in this base. Carbon Finn, Royal Champion, still has the ability, but I mean, this scatter shot, Scallies, will stop the Royal Champion there. This scatter shot is still looking a little bit scary, but as I'm saying this, just look at his troop bar. 3 free spells left.
That is wild. These freezes can keep that scatter shot frozen the entire time. Pulls a few red air bombs, but they don't even go to the balloons, as this is a crushing attack, and putting another 3-star on the board for GS. What a beautiful Queen Charge, log launcher, and a perfectly timed Warden Eternal Tome. Look at that, 5 headhunters in the mix in that attack, which took out all the heroes, the Inferno Towers, and it was perfectly planned, and that just picked that base apart.
That was an incredible attack and an incredible plan as well. You know, making no mistake whatsoever. Perfect identification of the base, perfectly executed, and such a big overkill. Very, very good job. And I said it before, they have well-known players on the team like Ren and Ryuda, and those two are starting them off extremely strong. And also in backstage, kind of, I got the information from Itsu, who of course is watching the wars, is also watching the chat and watching what you guys are saying, and I got the information that the Clan Castle troops that Troya used in his attack were actually on purpose, and the reason is he didn't want to lure out the Clan Castle troops. That is why he didn't use the sneaky goblins. So he wanted to go with the Loon and Dragon Rider CC, and he was ready to use some spells in case it would get close. So very interesting fact there, and thank you so much, Itsu, for providing this information. Now we have to focus on the second attack from SG Tristella, and it is another dragon-based attack, Carbon.
Dragons come in. Let's see if he gets another 3-star for SG Tristella, with the rocket loons to take out the air defense. Over to the right side by that Eagle Artillery, a few lightnings to help grab the sweeper. We're gonna have to set up this funnel as the Town Hall is far away. Typically we'll maybe send the blimp across with the dragons, but he's trying to sneak this Dragon Rider in. Oh, it goes off to the can, so he has to drop another one to try to sneak it. Oh, pulls the gear mine, but it stays alive. And he's able to secure the Eagle right off the bat with a Dragon Rider. That is some nice value.
Yeah, but I don't know why he didn't wait just like 5 seconds longer with his Dragon deployment there. That would have neglected the Eagle shots, but I mean, I think he thought he would be fine. But still, I like this attack very much, because it's like a sophisticated dragon attack. He thought about so much in this. He sniped the air defenses with the rocket balloons. He sniped the Eagle Artillery with the Dragon Rider. And there we go! This first super minion blimp of today, but finding the tornado trap right away. Perfect. Yeah, okay. Not perfect, but good invisibility spell. And he also gets a single Inferno, and that is great value. And look what is left of this base, Carbon. Still not a lot, but he has 3 heroes.
The heroes finally being used after the 2 stars has been secured. Wow, now the King's gonna move in. He's got a Royal Champion as well. And those Super Minion Blimp took out the Town Hall, the single target Inferno, and a lot of other defenses to force the dragons to go through. But the dragons got their value. Yeah, there's only 1 or 2 left there. Yeah, maybe just 2 dragons. But the heroes that he still has up is tremendous. You can pop this King ability, and notice how he popped the King ability after the bomb tower went down, because your barbarians would have taken all that damage from the bomb tower. That's a small little trick that a lot of people don't realize that are casually playing this game is wait for the bottom tower to go down if you can to pop your king ability to save a lot of your barbarian health.
Yes, and that was such a cool attack. Really, like, you know, me, Itsu, some other pro players, we have been criticizing how strong air-based attacks with dragons are, where you just have to drop a line of dragons and sometimes end up getting the 3-star. But this was like a different approach. Of course, he used a lot of dragons, but like the base identification, the way how sophisticated, like he really dissected this base into different portions, different compartments, took care of them, put something down here. Also, the early dragon on the bottom side of the base was so nice. It took out the archer tower, it got the funneling down for the rest of the dragons, and then the use of the super minion blimp, of course, is also always a beauty there to watch. And this got so, like, he basically didn't even need the heroes. I think he could have swagged either the royal champion or the queen in this, because
Ed Vance here.
Sorry, did you say your name was Ed Vance? Like Advance?
He knows everything in advance.
Oh, you know the future?
Oh, no. I just know everything here.
So you don't know what I'll do next?
You will be going to the oil aisle.
He's good.
He's Ed Vance.
This is how we advance.
When it comes to a volatile market, consider playing the long game by keeping your cool, like Jalen here, because he knows that enduring a little discomfort now could help your performance later. Join the team and learn to invest like a baller at Fidelity.com.
Congratulations, you're having an out-of-apartment experience because these cramped confines aren't going to fit your rapidly expanding family. But with more rental listings than anybody else, Apartments.com can help you trade this love nest for
an actual nest.
baby names. For a boy, Brad. For a girl, Brad. Apartments.com, the place to find a place.
He dissected it so well, and I really love to see that, how if players get creative and players really analyze the base until the very last detail to find the exact perfect troops to use against the base and take it apart. And that was a great showing by that, and deserved second 3-star for SG Tristella, who keep on going strong. And now we see this next anti-2-star base, Garvin.
Yeah, anti-2-stars trying to hope they can stop GS. Well, let's see if, as this blimp is trying to sneak in with that rage, we've got the Yeti rocket loon coming out of here. So the Yeti does help grab the scatter shot, pulls out some of that CC with one poison spell. So no worries, he'll be able to help take out this hound once he lures it to the corner, potentially with his queen. But he's got an archer over there luring the hound. Eventually, he'll have to get his heroes to maybe charge their way into the town hall. That would be my guess, because he's got a jump spell in here.
Yeah. He's got a jump, exactly. But still, I feel like he invested so much there. There was a hound, a couple balloons, and then the Yeti blimp with the spells. That was really a lot of investment to basically just get a scatter shot and a ground bow. I mean, a bit of funneling, of course, and the air defense, but you know, concerning key defenses that pose like a big threat. And now I don't know if he's. Oh, look at the queen. Yep.
Oh, she's coming back.
Queen going in. Will she go to the bomb tower or to the storage? Okay, she goes to the bomb tower, thank God.
Okay. Oh, Queen's getting hit though. Yep, forced to use that freeze spell.
So he was kind of. You said before. You said before how he waited to in the last attack with the king ability, but this time he was forced to use the king ability early, even though it hit the bomb tower, but it redirected the queen, and he had to do it to make sure he gets the town hall, and it seems like he is doing just that, and starting the Lalo now on the other side, he also gets the enemy queen. Very nice.
Absolutely incredible, the value that his queen got. The town hall, the enemy queen, even the enemy royal champion. And no healers on his queen. That's the value that he was able to achieve. As the balloons are coming around, still is the RC, and she's going to secure the Inferno Tower as he moves his way through the bottom side. And there's the heal as he's approaching the bottom, multi-target Inferno.
Yeah, and he also has the 4 more balloons he can send from the outside to also check for possible traps there. Royal Champion ability should go off in a second, I guess. There it goes, boom, boom, boom. As Susie likes to say, and the loons should overpower what is happening. Look at the skellies! But too many balloons still there. The skeletons take care of the Royal Champion, it seems, but this was an overpowering attack. What a nice hero dive there with the jump spell. And Also a great base identification. I can't say this often enough. And even though the time is still ticking, he's got so many troops spread out across the map. He should be fine. Yeah, there we go. The last 2 buildings taken down, and GS making no mistake.
No mistakes at all so far in this match with a brilliant attack. The value that he got with his queen, jumping her into the core of the space, and grabbing the town hall. He grabbed the enemy RC. He grabbed the enemy queen, and he didn't even have healers for his queen to do that. Insane the value he got. And we saw a couple hounds still left up on the attack at the very end. Such overkill. And we're adding another 3-star here to the board. And you guys are wondering, if you're just joining, who got that first golden ticket? What happened previously? Well, Queen Walkers defeated Space Station, and Queen Walkers have secured a golden ticket. They're all done for the day, which means Space Station have moved to the lower bracket. They're going to be taking on Blind Esports down in the lower bracket. But before that, we will have the match between I believe we may jump to that one first. We'll have to see the order, but we will see everything. We'll see all the matches to come for the golden tickets. But Eltano is now up, and he's coming in with his signature attack, which is the kind of Suilala with the skeleton spell to get his queen, potentially go for the town hall. And then he loves to use Dragon Riders to go for the Eagle Artillery if he can grab that. Let's see what he's doing here.
Okay, he didn't get the air defense at first, so he had to invest the second balloon there, but with the help of the haste spell, he got there in time. And now it seems to me like he wants to direct his queen into the town hall compartment there and taking out the right scatter compartment where he found the tester farm and a couple of skelly traps with the king and maybe the RC. But what is happening? The town hall was activated? Oh! I think it was activated by the Super Goblin. No way.
Oh no, did it really run to that town hall? So now he's got to invest another free spell. He makes it invisible so that the queen reroutes to the town hall and uses ability to secure that.
That was a very nice usage of the invisibility spell. Also triggers the tornado trap, which can be clutch in the further development of the attack. Royal Champion seems to be taking out the Hound in just a second. And he's got another free spell. But the Eagle Artillery, unfortunately, is focusing the Royal Champion. So he will not be able to get more value with her. So I think it's good to not invest the poison right away. But we have to see how the Lalo can get in. And he has to take care of these pups now. There we go. Beautiful poison spell there. And Lalo with the Warden coming in from the left side. And there is Lalo everywhere, Carbon Fin. I'm losing track. And yeah, everyone lost track there for a second, I think.
Yeah. Yep, I think so. Now as the freeze is coming down onto the sweeper and that single target Inferno. And look at the Dragon Riders. They're just making their way around the space. Needs to make their way into that multi-target Inferno. Has a handful of balloons. Unless there's a big red air bomb field, it's looking good for Eltano to bring in another 3-star in this match.
Incredible, and especially the way of detail, the amount of detail, the way he used the invisibility spell like a real pro, made the perfect buildings invisible to reroute the queen. I mean, it was unfortunate, or maybe even a mistake, that he let the Super Goblin activate the Town Hall, but he reacted perfectly, investing 2 free spells, investing the invisibility spell, but he knew that in the end of the attack, it would be so much more important to get the Town Hall down with this hero dive than having these spells in the Lalo, because we just know Eltano is a pro in hero dive Lalo attacks, and he is so incredible and so impressive to see how he can make use of the Dragon Riders working together with the Lalo on the other side, with the Headhunters and the Warden. Perfect spell usage and just a great attack, especially after making a slight mistake, but then making it still work and, you know, adapting to this mistake on the fly. So great job. And I mean, this final, I would say, for the golden ticket is not falling short to our expectations at all. We have 6 attacks so far and only 3 stars.
Indeed. 3 stars after 3 stars coming in this match. It's incredible to see. And that's what you have to do in order to have a chance at competing for a golden ticket. We love to see these matches going all the way down to the wire. And if it comes down to literally one small mistake, that's what it may just be. If you make one small error, but they're recovering. We've seen some incredible recoveries today. And whoa, I've got to throw, look at this base. What is it? Look at those walls right in the middle of that. That's the first thing that caught my eyes. Like, what is this design here with the middle walls? But he's using some balloons and bat spells to try to pull some Seeking Air Mines as he wants to send that blimp safely into the town hall to try to secure that. As he's got the Hydra with the 7 dragons, a big regular dragon investment here.
And also interesting, the Tesla farm in the town hall compartment. We rarely see that nowadays. Often they are by a scatter shot, for example. So he maybe they were defending or trying to defend a queen that you send into the town hall here to take it out. I don't know. Then there's a damage CC, so maybe they were I don't know what they were expecting. But anyways, we just have to wait and see. And this center compartment with the walls looks so interesting. I don't really know what it is for, but it definitely spreads the defenses out a lot. And we have to also keep our eyes peeled for this queen and king there on the right side of the base, as they have to take out the Eagle Artillery and the scatter shot. But it seems like his push is going through the core of the base very, very well here, Carbon.
It does seem like that here as the dragons are moving their way around, even to the bottom side. Has plenty of dragons up to the left. Royal Champion, he has a freeze and invis. This phase is crushed. What an attack here. Brilliant job. And there's going to be plenty of time. And this may come down to a time at the end of it. So if you're all tied up, this one attack can make the difference. So look at this. He's using all the spells to the full capacity so he can triple the space as fast as possible. Because the way the
Here's the problem. Nobody knows what Hulu Plus Live TV is.
Yeah, it comes with over 75 live channels with sports like NFL games, plus Disney Plus, plus ESPN Plus.
What if we call it Hulu Plus Live TV Plus Plus Plus?
That's dumb, but we're gonna go with it.
Congratulations, you're having an out-of-apartment experience because these cramped confines aren't going to fit your rapidly expanding family. But with more rental listings than anybody else, Apartments.com can help you trade this love nest for
an actual nest.
Baby names. For a boy, Brad. For a girl, Brad. Apartments.com, the place to find a place.
Omen 16 has an exquisite fan-powered cooling system. So surround it with exquisite air from a can. An aluminum can. Introducing Air by Omen. And the Omen 16 laptop.
This match is going. It seems like whoever may be faster will have an advantage.
Yes, absolutely. And that is what it seems like. But 3 attacks still to go, and a fail can happen at any time. And even to the best players out there. I mean, we saw Bernal, who is like usually someone who barely fails, and also especially at the moment he's in a great shape and was perfect so far. But then it just happened, and it can happen anytime here. So we have to wait and see. But you're absolutely right. Not only if it's a perfect, but also if both teams fail and they have the same amount of percentage, which is definitely not out of the scope of the possible here, then it will come down to time. So I think they will be very happy about having this very quick 3-star here in the bags. And we didn't see the average time yet, but they should be in the lead with that one. But first of all, we always say you have to triple first, and then you can worry about the time. So the question is now, can SG Tristella answer here, as we have Fed coming in, who used to be a player for Team Queso back in the 2019 World Team Queso in the 2019 World Championship. So he's definitely got a lot of experience.
Indeed, a lot of experience. Let's see if Fed can try to get his queen into the town hall. He's got a couple skeletons Usually, yep, there's the first one. Oh, but the queen, she got locked down by the Expo here.
Yeah, but good investment of the free spell, because now the skeletons can run in front and tank for the queen, and she should have enough time. There she goes to get to the town hall, and with the ability it will get taken down, as once again the player was able to find the Tesla farm with his hero dive. So the king and the royal champion being sent into a scatter shot with the Tesla farm and the Skelly trap. 3 Skelly, 4 Skelly traps. Carbon Fin, so good. He brought the poison spell, but still a lot of damage in there.
They are really trying to stop a charge or something into that section as a poison spell comes down to the super minions. Trying to help take that down, but the use of the invisibility spell, RSC, no more ability, trying to get the Air Expo, and yes, the Air Expo goes down.
And the super minion and the... Yeah, okay, the balloon doesn't matter, just for the headhunters maybe, but I think he will protect the headhunters with the warden ability anyway. So once again we see a small Lalo being played into the Eagle artillery, and then he will come in with the warden from the left side and the other part of the Lalo. Ooh, but I mean, he caught the headhunters in the warden ability, but just a couple of balloons there, and there is still a multi-inferno in the center of the base that looks very threatening, Carbon.
Yeah, that multi in the middle is going to be very annoying as he's trying to pass his way around. Look at the sweepers. Yeah, the sweepers are pushing him back. He has one heal though that he could use.
Wow,
Stone Slammer
the
hasn't
red
even
mine.
opened yet.
Did you see the red mines that the Hound lured?
No, it lured all of them.
The Hound was popped near this this section where he is now with the Lalo, and he got like 4 red mines out of the way. This Tesla could have been the only defense surviving if the red mines would have popped all those balloons. So this seems to be a 3-star after all, if he's got the time, but it's looking good, Carbon Fin. Wow!
3 stars after 3 stars. Look at that. 4 triples on each side. This has a potential for a perfect match here. Oh boy. Fed, what a brilliant attack. Able to get that done. And now I think that GS has the... We'll have to take a look at what the average attack duration is. But wow, that is some crazy stuff between these two teams here. Literally, imagine losing a golden ticket opportunity and putting up a perfect war. That's just insane. I've only seen it, I think we've only seen it together in a world championship setting once, and that was between Tribe Gaming and Strut. One time ever.
Yep.
And we are on the verge of that potentially happening again.
Absolutely. And I mean, I try not to talk about it because last time I felt like I was put into the position where people said that I was trying to force it, and by that jinxing it. So I'm just not going to talk about it. Just going to enjoy Ogre Yachty's attack here, who is coming in with the lightning spells, with the Zap Lalo attack strategy. And once again, this will be an incredibly valuable hero dive, as it seems, because he is sending in the log launcher. He used the lightning spells, he uses the ice golem, and all 3 heroes. And I don't even know where he wants to get with that. But it seems like at least pretty far.
Oh, with this queen moving her way to the left side, log launcher is coming through to help take out the multi. He's launching some of these archers with that log launcher coming out of that CC, but we got no warden being used on here. So the warden's going to come in with a Lalo, which can potentially be used over the town. Well, not potentially. It has to be used over the town hall at this point. I don't expect this queen to make her way all the way to that town hall here, as the log launcher does pop. Royal Champion has her ability, but she can still get a lot as he pops the queen ability, and she's going to be able to secure the enemy RC here.
Yes, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he could have even brought a wall breaker and an invis to get the scatter shot with his queen, but still incredible value. And look at this Royal Champion. She's got ability, and she's still going strong. And the Yetis are already helping out with the cleanup there at the bottom side of the base. This is looking incredible, but he still has to get through the town hall, has a sweeper facing against this first part of the Lalo. and then a back-end scatter shot, but also 2 free spells and a Warden ability, and he has a Hound that can fly all the way over the Town Hall. So let's see, but Garmin, I think it's looking extremely good.
It is looking good here as you can rage up the Warden ability, and the Warden ability, oh, beautiful! Rages these balloons, and he also clips the Lava Hound so that it stays protected over the air defense here, and this is a crushing 3-star, which means that GS just put up a perfect war.
He's got more balloons than what he started with. What the heck? That was insane. And we said it before. We said it. GS, they had a perfect war in their first match. They just had another one. That is incredible. And I would really love to see the timer at this point.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's the only way that that SG Tristella can still win. I mean, they need the 3-star now to pull up with the perfect war, and then they need to have the better time. So they might even have to run Electro Dragons or some very, very fast attack right now, because this is their last chance. If they lose now, they are out, and they don't have the chance for the golden ticket.
No, they'll go to the lower bracket. They'll still have a chance. Yeah, this is the upper bracket, so they'll still have a chance in the lower bracket. Right. And the match down there, though, would be against Repotted. So that would be very difficult. They want to take advantage of the opportunity right now. But GS, with a perfect war, SG Tristella has the chance to put up a perfect war as well. And if it's tied, perfect. It comes down to the average attack duration that's going to play a role in the match. And GS had the advantage going in. But here we go.
Dragon.
Yep, he's trying to be fast. Oh, wow. He's got as fast as possible. I don't even know what he has to get. Oh, my.
I know.
What?
I don't know exactly, but I know that GS is 12 seconds ahead on average at this point. So 12 seconds times either 5 or 4 attacks. I mean, at least they need 60 seconds faster. It's tough to call. I would say a 2-minute attack.
Yeah,
probably.
He has to be such a quick attack here as the E-Dragons are making their way through, skipping out of the multi, taking out the sweeper. We've got the air defense on the bottom side. The Royal Champions coming down. Everything is moving in together at the same time. We have the E-Dragons clearing. Oh, that scatter shot over there. The tunnel just goes down.
Everything is dying.
Oh, it is. Everything is dying indeed. Oh, no. Wow.
The Skellies on the Royal Champion are devastating.
Yeah.
No way.
Wow. So he had to completely switch up the plan on the fly at the last moment to try to speed it up. And it cost him the 3-star either way. So I think, like you said, he had to get a minute and a half triple or something to even have a chance. But it's not even going to be a 3-star. And that means GS with the perfect war is going.
Yo, my guy, can you get me a sandwich, please? Base sauce, smoked turkey, provolone cheese, peppercini, pickles, guacamole topped with Funyuns on a white roll. Base subs, available now exclusively on DoorDash.
Wow, we're on Verizon now.
Because of One Unlimited for iPhone. It comes with Apple One. That's Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and iCloud Plus.
All included on the network you want to be on.
Get One Unlimited for iPhone and get
Again.
Pro on us when you pre-order Verizon.
We're gonna be alive. We're gonna be alive, boy.
Discover you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount, anytime.
Omen 16 has an exquisite fan-powered cooling system, so surround it with exquisite air from a can. An aluminum can. Introducing Air by Omen and the Omen 16 laptop.
Going to be getting a golden ticket and going to the Clash of Clans World Finals in Helsinki in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time. So far, we know Queen Walkers got the golden ticket. We have GS getting the golden ticket. And then we have 2 more matches here today to find out the final 2 teams getting a golden ticket as well. So SG Tristella is not out of it. They still have another chance, another opportunity to make their case for the golden ticket. But they're going to have to take out a team like Repotted. That's going to be a very difficult match, Maxi.
It's definitely going to be. We're going to see SGT against RPG. And then we're also going to see SSG. So many Gs in this, and I can't wait for it. But we just crowned the next golden ticket winner, and it is so exciting. Like every single match, we're going to see another team going to the World Championship. Congratulations to GS for getting the next golden ticket. They will be joining X Team Esports, MS Esports, Tribe Gaming, Strut Esports, and Queen Walker Stephanie, who just got their first golden ticket. So we have 6 teams already for the World Championship and 2 to go. And I mean, why shouldn't we just get the next 2 golden ticket winners in the next 2 matches, Carbon? What do you say?
Right. I agree 100%. But I feel like, has there been like 3 months that's passed since Queen Walkers and GS? Because that's what it feels like it should be, right? It feels like a month should be passing because of, well, the amount of just what goes into the golden ticket, right? Community run events and this, you got to work your way all the way to the point to get a golden ticket. But just like that, back-to-back matches, back-to-back golden tickets. But let's go ahead and bring up the bracket to remind you and show you what is coming up next, as we have Queen Walker Stephanie and GS going to Helsinki getting their golden tickets, and we have 2 more matches down in the lower bracket. We have Repotted versus SG Tristella, and then Blind Esports taking on Space Station. Maxi, these are 2 incredible matches to come.
Absolutely. I can't wait for them to happen. I'm actually wondering which are we going to see first. I think we're probably going to see them from the top to the bottom. So we should see SG Tristella once again, right again, against Repotted Gaming. So they have just a very little time to calm down here and prepare for the next war.
Yeah. And so those that are wondering, there's 2 more golden tickets. So we are only going to see 2 more matches here today. So the winner of Repotted and SG Tristella, the winner of that match gets a golden ticket. Then the winner of Blind Esports and Space Station, the winner of that match will get a golden ticket. So every team that makes it into the final 2 of their respective brackets get the golden tickets to move on. And that will give us 4 total golden tickets given away here today. And then we already know the 4 that got them, which was X Team. We had MS Esports, Tribe Gaming, and Strut. And that will give us a total of our 8 teams. And this, no matter what, out of the 4 teams remaining here in the lower bracket, it's going to be an incredible World Finals because of the teams that have already qualified. Insane stuff. Can't believe this, but you know what I also can't believe? Is we're bringing back Itsu here. Welcome back, Itsu. What a war we had there. Literally came down to time other than changing the attack strategy. Itsu, what did you think of that?
I mean, that was just crazy. I mean, what a match that was. It was super fun to watch, even though I feel like for the players it was a lot of stress. I mean, I can just imagine being in that position like, wait a second, they 3-starred again? What should we do? Like, okay, just keep 3-starring ourselves, and then they 3-starred again. So So yeah, it was a really unfortunate situation in the end where SG Tristella was. Luckily, they have another chance in the lower bracket, so that's something good because I feel like they, from the beginning to the end by now, I feel like they are one of the underdog teams, if you can even call any of those top 8 teams the underdog team. But I feel like they have not an as crazy big name if you compare it to Space Station or Queen Walker Stephanie's, right? Like, I think just the name of the team. And it's really cool. I hope that we're going to have at least one of those underdog teams then in the competition. I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be insane to see. And GS coming out into here, we didn't really see GS in the previous stuff. They were qualifying and whatnot, but they have put on a performance today. back-to-back perfect wars to secure their spot in the gold ticket. Well deserved there. But I'm curious, I'm always asking these questions to the two of you here is, what would you have done if you were in the situation of SG Tristella there, going to the final attack, knowing that you must one triple, but I think at a point they must have realized that they had to get like a minute, maybe a minute and a half 3-star. I'm sure you would have probably been on board of saying, you know what, go with the E-Dragons, whatever you have to do, go as fast as possible because that's our only hope, right? Is that what you would have done, or what would have been your approach going into the team there, Maxi?
We would have just tripled in a minute, of course.
Okay.
Of course, just barge. I mean, Baron's archers.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, what's the question? No, but on a more serious note, I would have done exactly the same. I would have asked maybe a teammate like Nebrax, who I used to play with, who is very good with Electro Dragons. What's the best approach? Where to put in? And maybe ask a couple questions like where to start the queen. Should I funnel this and that? And then just go with it exactly like they did. In my opinion, they did the best thing possible. They had like 3 minutes or so to figure this out, and like even less to plan. And then you know, as Itsu said, you are shaking, and then you have to change the troops. I mean, changing the troops when you're shaking already costs like a minute, and then you have to look at the base, and then ask a more experienced clan mate, and there's so much going on. I think they did it perfectly. It didn't work out, of course, but I'm not even sure. We didn't know the exact time they needed, but I calculated it through once again. I think it was way less than I thought before. I think it was really like under 1.5 minutes, like 110, 120, something like that. And we've barely seen this at all in a competitive scene. So to go full risk in this situation, in my opinion, is the only thing that makes sense. And they did that. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but I mean, they have another chance, as Itsu said. But yeah, sorry, Itsu, what would you have done? I mean, tripled as well, right? In 1 minute.
I mean, I would have tried to as well, Electro Dragons into the base, but I don't think it would have worked. So, yeah, but I mean, Electro Dragons would have been the obvious choice, being known as one of the quickest armies. But as you said, it's not easy. I mean, maybe the last attacker is not maybe that familiar with Electro Dragons. So that's another thing, like really you have to ask a lot of questions. And I think Electro Dragons especially, we're always saying, yes, Electro Dragons are that easy. But if you really have to 3-star on the spot and you're like, okay, not only 3-star, but you have to 3-star quick and everything, I feel like it's always like an understatement, like, oh yeah, they're so easy. It's not. I mean, you really need to make sure that especially the spells in the beginning are correct and you get those chains in, because I feel like Electro Dragons are so well relying on those chains, and if you're entering from the wrong side or maybe not giving the Electro Dragons the rage at the correct time to get those heavy chains into the core, that's then the big problem. So not being familiar with the troop maybe is really going to be a big problem. But yeah, we don't see it this often. I want to say as well that we see a match coming down to like time. Even though it's always, from our end at least, cool to highlight that. But I feel like overall, yeah, it was an unfortunate thing. And overall, yeah, GS was quicker with their attacks. I think that's all what we can say at this point, Calvin.
Absolutely. GS put on an amazing performance, and you really put under the pressure if you have to triple in 1.5 minutes or even faster. So they put up a great effort, but they have another chance. Right, their next match is going to be up against Repotted, and they have another opportunity for the golden ticket. So Repotted versus SG Tristella. Who are you taking in this match?
I feel like whoever, like both teams are right now screaming like, pick the other team, pick the other team. So I jinx them kind of, because I feel like every single team I have picked so far has lost most of the time. But I feel like, again, similar as this match right now, it's going to be a close one. I think SG Tristella so far was incredibly strong. Repotted had their ups and downs, but overall they were pretty good as well. And especially with their defense, I think they were one of the teams which were still bringing the anti-2-star style bases with box and ring bases and everything. So they're, especially at this stage, as Maxi said, I mean, this is, yes, the upper bracket was already nerve-wrecking. But now with the lower bracket, there is no safety net anymore. Like, whoever is going to lose is out for the entire year when it comes down to Clash Worlds. And I feel like maybe...
Congratulations. imagines you're having an out-of-apartment experience, but Apartments.com can help you trade this love nest for
An actual nest.
Apartments.com, the place to find a place.
Wow, we're on Verizon now.
Because of their new plan, One Unlimited for iPhone. It comes with Apple One, that's Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and iCloud Plus.
All included on the network you want to be on.
Exactly. We could be up here all weekend listening to The Weekend.
While flinging Angry Birds.
Not you. You're lovely. Are you napping?
No, I'm watching my favorite show, starring me.
Get your Apple favorites all in one plan. Introducing One Unlimited for iPhone. And now get iPhone 14 Pro on us, only on Verizon.
Maybe those anti-2-star bases are the best choice right now, because if the hands are shaking and only one small thing is going wrong, like, we all know it. I think everyone at some point has attacked already a ring base, if it's Town Hall 9 or whatever Town Hall level. And if there's one small thing going wrong, like maybe the funnel is not set, your troops are going the wrong direction, and this is like really hard to come back from, and even for the pros in this situation. So I feel like, to me, it's a 50-50. I don't really want to pick. I think it's really coming down to who's more nervous, and that would be my call. What about you, Maxi?
Okay, so first of all, both teams have pulled up 14 and 13 stars each. So 13 in their first war, 14 in their second war. So the same average on offense. But then I feel like SG Tristella, in the last war, they just showed that they don't feel the pressure. I mean, it was for the golden ticket, and they kept on tripling, and their last attack, the fail, was just due to the fact that they had to go all in with the Electro Dragons. So they probably would have 3-starred with their initial plan as well. We don't know for sure, but the chances would have been higher than with this Electro Dragon approach. So they just showed how well they can handle it. And that's, for me, this one thing that is decisive. And the second thing is, I think SG Tristella will change something in the next war, and that is the base choice. Because we talked about it, Carbon and me, while you were watching, Itsu, that they used completely different bases, a couple of different bases, and I think that is a wrong approach. I mean, it can be like surprising maybe at times, but in this case, I felt like they really gave the opposing team the opportunity to let them choose the bases that they feel most confident with, and that made it so easy for GS to triple. I mean, of course, not easy, we're saying easy, but made it easier for them, and they perfected them. So maybe if SG Tristella changed that approach, they go in with the same type of bases, so make it hard for the attackers from RPG that don't like to attack the certain base type, then I think they can force a fail or two, and if they keep on showing no nerfs and attacking well, they should have the upper hand. So that's why I would go with SG Tristella for this one. What about you, Carbon?
I'm going to go with SG Tristella as well. I'm going to go with them because of their recent performance that they, I think, could have put up a perfect war other than changing their plan with the E-Dragons. That's the one difference there. So I think, but even Repotted could be maybe favored amongst the community. They maybe be picked. I'm going based off of the momentum of where SG Tristella was, right? They just came off a match, and Repotted, they've had to wait. They had to be patient. They had to wait their turn for the match. So maybe SG Tristella had that little bit of a momentum coming into this match. And speaking about momentum, you guys have experience playing and competing on a live stage, in person, online, and stuff. Can you guys talk a little bit more about how momentum can play a role? Does it play a positive role? Does it play a negative role? Like, if an attack fails, does that really affect you? Would you rather have a longer break to think it over? Would you rather to get back right into it and do your next attack?
Before I'm answering that, quick update actually. Quick update actually. We're going to cover a different match first. So to give SG Tristella a quick break, we're going to have first the Space Station match. That's why I was jumping in. I'm sorry. So Blind Esports versus Space Station is going to be our next match actually. But I mean, momentum is still a thing, right? Because Space Station, they have lost. If we're switching now over to them and keeping the same question, with Blind Esports already, starting the lower bracket buff run, whatever you want to name it. Like they're they're getting buffed up. There's like this nice meme, like upper bracket blind esports with this cute little dog, and then like the really really heavy looking dog at the bottom side with the lower bracket. I think that meme really perfectly fits. But yeah, I think it's Space Station. They have lost one match, so is it really? They are maybe out of momentum. It's hard to, it's really hard to call for me, but I feel like the momentum is on blind esports favor. What would you say right now, Marxy? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, who are you gonna pick then? So
okay, I can make it a quick one because I agree.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, he agrees with the momentum. So then, I mean, Maxi, and then we'll go back to Itsu. Itsu always tries to get out of these predictions, but we gotta grab a prediction out of him. So Maxi, we'll let Itsu think it over, give him a little bit more time. So Maxi, who are you taking in this match of Blind Esports versus Space Station? Since that's the next one we're going to watch.
Yeah, I think that Blind Esports has the momentum. But I think that Space Station has the consistency and the experience. I mean, Blind Esports has some experience as well, but Space Station, they have some former INTZ players that were in the World Championship in 2019 as well already. They have been there for everywhere. And I mean, they have been the recurring theme in our 3 stars episodes. Guys, if you haven't watched that yet, check it out on YouTube. Some interesting insights here on the qualifying teams. And on these stages, and we've talked about them consistently because they just were not beaten by any team. It happened today, but it happened, I mean, against Queen Walker Stephanie. So I would say that they still have also a little bit of momentum, and I think if they just get their stuff together, they can easily make it work. And in the end, I would just say that they will have the upper hand, even though Blind Esports might have the momentum, might even pull up 14 stars. But Space Station, they will probably get the perfect war.
Ooh, okay, Itsu. What about you?
Okay, just to cater towards my meme, which I've mentioned earlier, and I would go all the way with Blind Esports just taking the power buff from the lower bracket. I would just go Blind Esports, got the momentum somehow. Maybe they have, maybe they're changing quickly their tornado traps to finding a nice angle to bait the blimp from Space Station, because this right now is like a really returning pattern from Space Station, which they like to do. As soon as you can charge the Eagle, they're going to charge the Eagle, blimp the town so it's out of the way, out of their mind, and then they will just play the Lado. So as soon as you have maybe, I think it's kind of, I say easy, but it's for maybe pro base, but somewhat easy to see the pattern on their bases and maybe try to defend the most obvious blimp. Who knows? But I feel like if this blimp is falling short, and then there's the nerfs kicking in. Remember, Space Station, everyone thought, okay, the golden ticket, like if there's one golden ticket guaranteed, it's Space Station, right? And they feel the pressure as well. With them now dropping to the lower bracket, and if attacks, especially entries going wrong, I think that's where then the base building can be coming in clutch. So I will go with Blind Esports. Carbon, now since you have pressured me, what about you?
For me, I'm going to go with the team that came in as the favorites, right? The team that came in thinking everyone was picking them from the start, right? Even before the ladder stage was underway, Space Station. So I'm going to still go with Space Station here. I think they're going to take it. I think Blind Esports is going to give them a run for the money. They're going to go all the way to the finish line on this one, and it really could be a perfect comes down to average attack duration. I really think that's a possibility in this match here. And if you have that one small mistake, I think that's going to have an even larger effect on your mental game, on the momentum. If your opponent fails, there's no second chance at this point, because you've already had it. You're in the lower bracket now. If you lose, you are eliminated. You're going home. Yeah, you take home some nice prize money. Yeah, at least you made it this far, but it's not, you didn't come here for that prize money. You came here for the golden ticket and a chance to play in person in the World Finals, to be crowned a champion Clash of Clans for the year of 2022. So there's still a long way to go for these teams, and this is the match that's going to determine if they have a chance at that title. But it's going to be incredible. We still have some time. The teams are preparing. They're getting their plans ready, because the next match, we could probably bring up the bracket for anyone that is just joining the stream now and wondering, how's it all gone? Where have the teams gone from the beginning round of the day of the upper round one? As you can see, we already have crowned Itsu 2 golden ticket winners here.
That's right. Queen Walkers, who are getting their revenge victory versus Space Station in one of the craziest matches of the day, but at the same time, I feel like maybe the G Tristella versus GS match was even more crazy, with coming down to the last attack where S3 Tristella had to go for the time to tie up a 15-15 match, kinda, but then in the end falling short, and GS being the second golden ticket winner. And yeah, now we are in the lower round. Those teams, those remaining 4 teams, Reported Gaming, SG Tristella, Blind Esports, and Space Station, are fighting for 2 more golden tickets. Whoever is going to win their match are going to get a golden ticket. Whoever is going to lose their match, they're out of this year's Clash of Clans World Championship and have no chance of still competing at the end of this month in the live event in Helsinki. And there's a lot on the line, not only...
Omen 16 has an exquisite fan-powered cooling system, so surround it with exquisite air from a can. An aluminum can. Introducing Air by Omen and the Omen 16 laptop.
Wow, we're on Verizon now.
Because of their new plan, One Unlimited for iPhone. It comes with Apple One. That's Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and iCloud Plus.
All included on the network you want to be on.
Exactly. We could be up here all weekend listening to The Weekend.
While flinging Angry Birds.
Not you. You're lovely. Are you napping?
No, I'm watching my favorite show, starring me.
Get your Apple favorites all in one plan. Introducing One Unlimited for iPhone. And now get iPhone 14 Pro on us, only on Verizon.
If we grab enough loot, we can make our way to Polar Plateau.
Bro, are you lagging?
My batteries are toast.
Who still uses batteries?
Only prize money, but you said it, Corbin Finn, with the golden ticket. And the next match we're going to take a look at is going to be Blind Esports versus Space Station, Maxi.
Yep, absolutely. And of course, they're not all only playing to be in the World Championship and to have the chance of winning the $300,000, but they're also playing to meet us, because we are also going to be there in Helsinki at the end of the month. I'm about to say,
reason, right?
I mean, of course. But in 2 weeks, guys, actually. So also to the viewers out there, make sure to put it in your calendar. From September 23rd to 25th, we are going to be seeing the World Championship Finals, and a lot of more money will be on the line, and the best teams of the whole season will be playing. So not just from this tournament, but also the 4 teams that qualified before. Make sure to not miss the action on these 3 days. It's going to be incredible. But now, back to this match. Space Station Gaming still has, if I'm not mistaken, 2 players that are perfect, that have not had a single slip up, and those should be Picastro and Leo, right, guys? So they have not failed yet.
Yeah,
and
it's
that is just incredible, and that's what I'm going to have my eyes peeled on. If they can really keep the perfect streak going and qualify their team for the World Championship with that. Others have failed before. I mean, of course, I don't wish it to them either, but these 2 that are something that I will especially look out for in this match.
So you talk about the people that have gotten perfect so far, but going into today, Bernal was perfect, right? And now I believe back-to-back wars now for Bernal. He's failed. He's fallen short. And is that gonna really be playing a mental toll on him? Like, wait, I've just failed back-to-back attacks, and if I fail again, I could cost my team the opportunity and a golden ticket. Marnal also failed his previous attack, and that was a lower percent 2-star. So 2 big names on Space Station fell through in the last match, and that cost them the match against Queen Walkers, going down to now this lower bracket. So do you think Itsu and Maxi, Bernal and Marnal can turn it around, even though Bernal's failed back-to-back times now?
I think both are like good enough, like by far good enough to reset on a mental note and get their head back into this. But I feel like overall this match, and as well, like if they're going to fail maybe again, is all coming down to the base builders of Blind Esports. Because we have seen from Queen Walkers, they have predicted the majority of the attacks of Space Station. So apparently we were saying, okay, Space Station is always coming in with new stuff, like always trying out new things with the same strategies but different approaches, right?
Yeah.
For some reason, for the base builders itself, it seems like really obvious. We remember the one Queen charge with the one Coconut Loon barely clipping 2 rat bombs and taking those out, even though the entire attack was baited. So this one, Test Loon, is not there, and the attack is over. So that one was baited. Then we have seen the Sui Lalo dive with the rat mines behind the tunnel. We have seen the Queen charge bait with the Clan Castle versus Bernal. So really, Queen Walkers was incredible, well prepared on the defensive side. Now, if the question is if Blind Esports had enough time to prepare in between their matches and were quick enough in their head to say, okay, that's the approaches, that's what Space Station likes to run. If they're quick enough, I think they have a really good shot. If not, it's tricky. So I think everything is relying on the Blind Esports side more than Space Station getting the mental game back. Oh, Maxi, would you see that different?
I agree totally when it comes to the defensive side. They have been watching the match for sure, Blind Esports, because they knew that they would be facing the losing team from this match, and so I'm 100% sure that they have been analyzing them very, very carefully and have also set their traps against some of their attacks. But as you said, they just had an hour time, so that means they couldn't change bases. They could just change the traps a little bit, and they had like 12 minutes per base. They couldn't even test like attacks and run the attacks and test how they would do. So it's a little bit of time. And then I also want to talk about the offense side of things, because Blind Esports, we said it, they are pretty inconsistent. They got 12 stars sometimes. I mean, even in the first war today. But then again, always when they were in the lower bracket, they got like 14 or 15. So that is incredible. And we just have to see if they will keep their lower bracket consistency. But guys, we're about to start a war in just a little bit. We're about to get the 3rd golden ticket winner for the day. I'm taking off until the next war. So I wish you guys a lot of fun, and you guys at home as well. And I'm going to see you after this one.
All right, Maxi, can't wait to see you just after this when we give away our 3rd golden ticket here today. It's crazy to think that we've already given away 2 today, and there's 2 more to go. And by the end of today, we will know all the teams competing in the World Finals. It's just incredible. Can't wait. 2 weeks from now, or less. Actually, less than 2 weeks, because it's going to be on the 23rd. It's wild.
Yeah, and then, as we have talked earlier about, like media day, so the teams have to arrive earlier. I mean, they cannot arrive on the 23rd, right? Like this is not how it works. So there's media days before, and they do not have a lot of time to prepare. So it's going to be a true test right there.
Yeah.
And overall, I cannot wait for this match, because right now it feels like you get a golden ticket, you get a golden ticket, you get a golden ticket, because we are going to give away every single match right now a golden ticket to the winner of those matchups. And this next one should be epic. Can Space Station bounce back? That is the big question we're all wondering. Or is Blind Esports keeping their incredible lower bracket streak alive? This, to me, is the storyline of this match, and I cannot wait to see how this match is going to start, Carbon.
So there's one thing we've got to do, and that's we've got the predictions from both of us, right, of who we think. But now what we want is to take a look at the chats, and we want the predictions from all of you at home. So right now, if you're watching, go ahead, type in chat. Who are you picking? Is it Blind Esports, or is it going to be Space Station? Let us know right now. We're going to keep our eyes on that chat to keep an eye to see who you guys think. As that's happening, P. Castro is kicking it off with the Queen Charge Alala.
And I feel like, they just don't care. They say, okay, Blind Esports, Space Station knows how to take down those anti-3-star bases. They have their weirdly weird way of doing the Queen charges against that. Let's just use, I don't know, is that a butterfly? Does this look like a butterfly? I don't even know. It's an anti-2-star base with some really isolated Inferno Towers.
Oh man, I don't know. This design with those walls in the middle is just so interesting here. But we're gonna see his way around with that queen. Gonna path her way towards that multi. The blimp. Okay, the blimp into the town hall. It's the safer way with the warden ability going off. Pulls the red airbomb field. Can he make it? Yes, he does. Rages up over the town hall and secures it. As look at the queen. She steps right on in to grab this multi.
Wow, he is controlling that queen with a, I don't know, with a joystick or something, because that queen is directly going for the Inferno Tower right there, and now he's doing the same thing. This attack now, you might say, yeah, this is not looking too good, but remember, that's how space stations so far have always played their Lalo attacks. It's always the same thing. They're playing a kind of like a Lalo dive, you want to call it, and then later on, the heroes to finish off the base. They have a lot of loons right now. The question though is, are those 9 loons enough? Because they're coming in from the top right side, Carbon.
This is like a whole new attack strategy of doing a queen charge into a mini Lalo, into a hero dive, into another mini loon, because there's no lava hound. So it's like a back end cleanup balloons. Incredible. And this is gonna be not only a 3-star, but he's swagging spells as well. Swag's an invisibility and a freeze. Pete Castro keeping that perfect streak alive. Incredible attack, and that's an attack that is another level. I would say is probably way more difficult than a typical normal Queen Charge Lalo, because you have to manage multiple different parts going on, and just beautiful hit.
Yeah, it was a really nice hit. But one thing which the chat brought up, I am not sure. I tried to remember, but the clan castle was not full, I believe. It were like archers and rocket loons. But I think I did not see the super minions. So the question now is, if they have missed on a couple of bases there are super minions in the clan castle, that would be unfortunate. Remember, there's a lot of stress going on for those teams, and they have only 5 minutes of prep. So we don't know if any of the other clan castles are empty, or I would just blame it on the chat if that statement is wrong, okay? So, or if the chat is wrong, I'm not 100% sure, but that would be
Clean electrolytes on a mission to get you up and moving. Noon hydration.
Wow, we're on Verizon now.
Because of their new plan, One Unlimited for iPhone. It comes with Apple One. That's Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and iCloud Plus.
All included on the network you want to be on.
Exactly. We could be up here all weekend listening to The Weekend.
While flinging Angry Birds.
Not you. You're lovely. Are you napping?
No, I'm watching my favorite show, starring me.
Get your Apple favorites all in one plan. Introducing One Unlimited for iPhone. And now get iPhone 14 Pro on us, only on Verizon.
really unfortunate.
Yeah. What we're gonna have to do is, I'm sure there's gonna be many people that are gonna go back and watch the video, like rewind, go back, take a look. But we'll also keep a look on the future attacks to come that Space Team bring in, because it's gonna be the defenses of blind. Maybe if it happened to one, could it happen in multiple? Someone was responsible for filling up super minions, and maybe just didn't do it and was just forgetful there. But either way, we're gonna see the Warden walk starting off to help grab the Archer Tower. But the big thing here is this Warden is providing the distraction for this Air Expo, because otherwise the Expo would go for this Flame Flinger, and he wants the Flame Flinger to grab that Town Hall.
Yeah, and he's not going to go for the Town Hall with the Warden, okay? So what he does right now, only tanking for the Flame Flinger, he's going to activate that Town Hall with that Earthquake which he has in his army, and he now needs to make sure that he's protecting this Flame Flinger at all costs, because that is the siege, that is the troop which is going to take down the Town Hall, and so he has to be careful with possible giant bombs, skeleton traps, and so on. Right now, so far, it seems like the funnel is set, the Queen is in, and the Super Bowlers are going to get, unleashed into this scatter compartment on the far left side.
Yeah, the Super Bowlers are going to move their way into the scatter. He's going to take his time as the Flame Flinger is going to work on to this Town Hall as the Rage balloons are going in. He's not using the Warden Eternal Tome. He's going to be patient. He does have one jump spell. There it is. give him access straight into the core of this base. And the Warden ability still waiting as the Ice Golem just gets sprung.
Oh, the Warden is following perfectly. And where is it going? When is he going to use it? When is he going to get this Warden ability in? So far, not just yet. He's still waiting. That is crazy. He's still waiting. And could now use it, yes, as he's approaching the single Inferno Tower. And the Town Hall is going down as well with that Flame Finger. Beautiful done. And now it's all about this back end and this bottom side because the Royal Champ is in and trying to take down this Eagle next with the Queen supporting her over at the bottom side.
Yeah, that Eagle secured is moving its way around to the Baby Dragon. The World Champion, but the Queen ability still intact. This Queen, where's she going? Go for the wall. Oh, Queen's going for the wall. Queen, you could, you know, there's an opening, there's a jump spell. You can go to the top side. There's openings at the bottom. Queen, nope. She has to go for the wall, Queen.
Oh, the Queen is taking some time, but I think the Royal Champ, yes, is going to get down that scatter. And with that, the Queen is even coming back. Only time can be a deciding factor at this point, but I feel like time shouldn't be a problem. Queen, come on. Do some workout. Go around the corner. Don't go through the wall. That is just, I mean, yeah. Luckily, it did not decide the outcome of this match. But this is going to be as well a 3-star for Blind Esports. At the same time, though, I don't know if you want to highlight this already at this stage to maybe jinx it to the point that we don't see a 15-15. Time is, I think, heavily on the side of Space Station.
Yes, at the moment, but hey, 3 stars apiece. And remember, I asked you guys in the chat who you were picking. You guys all typed either Space Station or typed Blind Esports. I was seeing a lot of Space Station comments you guys were typing in, but I did see a handful of you guys say Blind Esports. You guys are the believers, believing in 4. I would say Blind Esports definitely the underdog, as Space Station has been coming in dominant throughout the competition so far. But hey, their one loss was their golden ticket opportunity in the upper bracket. They have one more opportunity here in the lower bracket. But can Space Station keep it going? It's all tied up in the 3 stars. We saw P. Castro to lead off with the Queen Charge, back end Lalo, kind of, but now Leo, who's also perfect for Space Station, is also coming in with the same Queen Charge Lalo. But I'm assuming it's going to be the same thing, similar, of doing a Queen Charge into a mini Lalo, into the King and Royal team, into a back end balloon cleanup. That's what they've been doing.
Yeah, and this base looks interesting because, I mean, I always like to take a look at things like Expo setups, Inferno Tower setups, like what is the setup pros like to run. And this one is actually using 4 air expos, okay? Like, we regularly see a lot of ground expos. The reason being why even ground expos are sometimes better versus air than air expos, which right now maybe sound a bit weird, but the reason is that in air attacks, the heroes are such an important factor. And you cannot get rid of heroes if you have air expos. This is not how it works. You just are missing some important damage, some important tiles kind of to reach those heroes. So that's why those ground expos are so important. So seeing now 4 air expos is really nice. I think Leo is pretty happy about that with his Queen Charge. But he's coming with those healers. Loon behind. But at least so far, no black mines or red mines or anything found which those healers could target. And oh, that expo barely going down.
Yeah, and notice he didn't use a spell. No rage spell with that Blimp Yeti, which means he has that extra spells now to use for his Queen to charge her way all the way through. But you know, I'm noticing, okay, there is an opening behind that multi-target Inferno. It's kind of sneaky. Like, that Inferno Tower is kind of hiding it there. But the Queen can have access to the Town Hall by walking in, as she can walk through that section and eventually make her way to the Town Hall as the King ability just goes off, clearing more of this left side to force this Queen to the Town Hall.
Yeah, if there's Tesla though in front of the scatter, which, okay, there are not. Otherwise, I would have thought that, okay, maybe the Queen is not going to go as intended, but the Clan Castle timing is not looking good for him because the Inferno Tower is now locking onto his Queen. And this is quite a problem because this single Inferno Tower is really annoying for his Queen Charge right now. He has to invest a couple of spells. Minion is there to support with those lava pups, and the Lalo is starting, so he's relying on this Queen to take down this Town Hall and take down the scatter and everything.
This Queen under rage. What? That one minion pulls a tornado trap. as he has the Warden Eternal Tome, makes the Queen invisible. Pops the Warden Eternal Tome as well to protect the balloons. Protects the RC through the scatter shot. The Town Hall is just about to go down as he pulls some air skellies, another range, but time. Itzu, he only has about 30 seconds left of this attack.
Red mines? Red mines maybe somewhere. Are there any traps? The loons are dropping like flies, and there might be more ground skeletons in between this Tessa form. And Carbon, time is ticking. We have said it. This might come down to time, and this attack is not quick. But the better question is right now, is this even a 3-star?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's a time fail. This Queen definitely would have enough. He can't take out these final remaining buildings. 3, 2, and a double ground skeleton pops up as well. And we've got a defense here for Blind Esports. Leo, unfortunately, falls short. And is this the window? Is this the opportunity for Blind Esports to step up and take advantage? A 3-star. They'll have the lead. And could you imagine, after the whole run that Space Station just did, if they don't get a golden ticket, how upsetting that would be for Space Station. And I'm sure a lot of people would be shocked. But Blind Esports has a chance now to do it.
I mean, they would have 2 losses in 4 stages. Stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. That would be 2 losses overall, on all of them combined. And they would still not get a golden ticket. That would be incredible.
Crazy.
But before we're talking about this and already jinxing everything again, first off, Blind Esports have to continue their streak in offense. And I feel like so far they have done everything correct on the defensive side. I mean, they have chosen anti-2-star bases, which really in this scenario is really not nice to take. And remember as well, Leo was one of their safe 3-star. He was one of the persons who was guaranteed to 3-star. His hit rate was so far perfect. And with him failing, I mean, let's see what Bernal is going to do. But first off, we have Garakuta coming in with a Queen Charge Lalo as well. He right now has a blimp selected, so no lock launcher. We are seeing a Ground Warden. So there is the lock launcher. I think Ground Warden without the lock launcher is not really giving you that much value. So I cannot wait if he's going to get all the value he needs. But this entry already looks beautiful, Carbon Finn.
Yeah, as long as he keeps this Queen alive, the log launcher can give him access all the way to that core multi-target Inferno. But the King's ability goes off. Headhunters as well. Get ready for the Warden. Eternal Tome to protect the King and his Barbarians. Warden, no! Warden, you're so far away! Okay, his RC is protected, but the log launcher, he needs to take out that core multi. That's some critical value that has to go down, but with the RC ability going off, the Yetis that come out of here might not just go for that multi. They may stay far away. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that Queen, Oh!
Oh my god. This right now is incredible. I mean, the wall break has worked, but he has still a couple of spells left. The multi-inferno tower is now going down with the Yeti mites at least, but he has no poison left for those lava pups, which are looking incredible annoying. This